Welcome, Internet, to the Playing Video Games Podcast. It's your boy, Dad Ninja Dev, joined as always by Donnie Eat the Hype Reese and Delvin Kruger Cox. It's a good one. I mean, it's Christmas season now, but that's cool.
Well, I guess it is Christmas season because Mariah Carey said so. That's the new rule.
Exactly. You know, as soon as November 1st rolls around, it's Mariah Carey season.
Look here.
This is how it goes.
I love light-skinned women like the next brother. But how we let this...
First of all, she ain't light-skinned. Like, she's mixed. It don't count. You can't just call it
That's literally light-skinned.
Nah. I'm light-skinned, okay? I'm light-skinned. She mixed. It's not the same.
I don't know about that one. we let this woman dictate our holiday season for the last several years. Like, she just tells us, like, screw Thanksgiving. We just go straight to Christmas. It's like Halloween, Christmas.
When you think about Thanksgiving and how awful it really is, I can understand just skipping Thanksgiving. You know?
The food's good.
Turkey Day. It's Turkey Day. It's food's good, yeah. But it's Christmas season.
Well, I love Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday, so you know.
I mean, same.
So I don't mind skipping Thanksgiving, but you know, Thanksgiving's good for the day off.
Yeah.
I always say that.
When you don't work in retail.
Yeah, like, you know, like, hey, anytime they give us an extra day off, I'm all for it. I don't care what holiday it is. Like Leif Erikson Day. Like, all right. Guess we taking it.
Erikson Day.
like we taking it off, baby.
That's a wild pull.
I got that from SpongeBob. 100%.
Donnie, how are you, brother? You're quiet. It's been a rough week, rough day. Talk to us, man. Come vent. This is our space where we just get together and we just let it all out, man. What's going on?
Make fun of me. I don't like you sad. I'd rather you make fun of me the whole goddamn show.
Yeah, sorry.
As you can tell,
it's been a long
Donnie's
day.
had a rough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, my boss left today, and we got our new boss going here for about a week, and I think I'm going to have to find another job. So I think it's just come to that.
That bad? That different of a management style?
Oh, 100. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. I've regurgitated it to so many people today. You know, I'm kind of like, I'm not in the mood. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I don't want to just sit here and be like sad the whole show. But like, I can't act. I'm a shitty actor. Like, I can't do anything else. But yeah, it's just ultimately, I just don't think what I've done and my accomplishments and all that, I just don't think are valued under new leadership. I don't think that's what they want to do, to the point that I was told, like, you know, like, hey, that stuff that you do and how you do it, you know, like, that's cool, but like, we're going to want you to do these other things going forward, you know? And I think you'll appreciate this, baby. Like in the IT space, there was a system that I designed that's old. Designed it back in like 2018, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And needs to be redesigned. I've been redesigning things all year long. And I was like, hey, this is up next, and it's a big one. So it'll take some time. And the response I got was, why are we redesigning it? Like, because it needs to be redesigned. Because I told you it needs to, because I'm going to redesign it. Yeah, but that's not really the best use of our time. Like, does it work? It's like, yeah, it works. For now.
Until it doesn't.
And they're like, okay, so why redesign it? I was like, because it could work better. Because it could work faster. Because that's what we do here.
That's what we do.
That's what we do here. That's what people know me for. That's why I'm good at this. And they were like, yeah, well, I don't think we're going to do that. And that was just kind of like this. I was like, okay, well then I don't think you need me here. If you just want to reset some passwords, you can find somebody to do that.
I'm not your guy. Yeah.
And if you want to take this thing that I do really well and make me do something that I don't do very well, because the other thing isn't like an adjacent thing. It's a completely different thing. Like, I'm honestly a terrible fit for it, but it just needs to get done. And they're like, we'll just stop him from doing that and we'll let him do this. And that's cool. And I'm not trying to, I hate saying things like that because I don't want to be like, it's not my job or anything. I didn't pull that card. But like, I'm happy to help people do other things, exercises, events, things like that. I'm happy to help here and there. But this was like we have a 6-month project that needs to get done and we'll just give it to you. And it's like, okay, that's a new job.
It's not how any of this works.
Like, well, it's just like, that's a different job. It's a different job.
Yeah.
You're wanting somebody to do a different job. And instead of hiring somebody to do a different job that we don't have anybody for, you've decided to take me off the job that I like doing to give me a job that I don't like doing. Meanwhile, apparently not do my job or me do it in between, like when I can. And it's just, I don't know. I'm feeling, I might cry. I've been crying all day, man. I'm sorry.
It's like taking a quarterback and being like, hey, why don't you go play linebacker? Like, that's not what I do.
just feel undervalued.
Yep.
I get that.
So
I totally understand. We're kind of going through something similar at my job. One of my engineers, like, he's just completely undervalued. They don't understand how much he does just to keep everything going. We are woefully understaffed. We've got about 200 virtual servers with about 4 system admins to manage them all, and 1 engineer.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near enough to actually maintain and update things and redesign them, because that's what a lot of IT is. It's like 2018 is eons ago in the IT space.
Yeah.
So it's about time to redesign something. 5 years is a long time for something to live.
We're talking
It's
about
time
something
to
that looks
update
terrible
concepts.
versus something that looks new and modern.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just about looks,
So,
it's functionality, it's capabilities.
functionality.
It's
Yeah.
Technology.
efficiency.
That's how
It's
technology
what,
works.
I mean, like, it's what I do. I mean, you might as well have just said everything you do here, we're not going to do it anymore. That's how I read it. And I get it. Like, I appreciate the sentiment. Well, I need to get this done. It's a priority to my bosses and I have to use the staff to do it. I'm like, I get that. And it sucks, doesn't it? Like, it's a rock at our place. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it though. Like, that's the thing. Like, I get the sense that they're like, oh, we'll just tell them to do whatever.
It's not how that works, man. Like, you have certain people in place to do certain jobs. Like, IT is best done when it's specialized. Like, you have people who are good.
Oh, you'll love
at
this
what they
even
do.
more.
They do that.
So I'm a unicorn in the sense that I maintain an application from server to user. That's not normal.
No,
I
it's
maintain our servers, all of them, and our database. I upgrade them, I patch the application. I don't try to mess with the ISS too much, but if there's a problem, I do that too.
not. Mhm.
I do database management and I clean indexes and all that. I design the actual application. I code the application. I change colors. I deploy it. I do permissions. I do JavaScript. I train users how to do it. I take it to them. I show them how to use it. I provide user access, control, passwords. We were in an exercise last week and he was just watching me. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, full service is down. He's like, what's that? It's like service to makes all these things communicate to each other and everything. He's like, what do you get? What happens then? I was like, I fix it. I'm fixing it. I'm trying to fix it. You're bothering me. I'm trying to fix it. And he was like, shouldn't IT do that? Like, no,
I am
I do
IT.
I go, I do that. And he goes, right, but that's like an IT job. And I was like, I maintain our servers. And he's like, shouldn't they do that? I go, no. And he goes, why? I was like, because they used to do that 10 years ago. And then they patched it and everything broke. And they couldn't fix it. And they didn't even know it was broken because they don't know what they're doing. Because they don't, it's like we have big disconnects. They don't seem like little gaps. They feel like huge gaps. Like it's just like, it almost feels, like I have so many people that are like, all right, man, just like give it a few weeks, like talk, like work through it. But it just feels like so much work to tell somebody why I'm here, and not just, and it's not, I don't know, man. I don't even know if I want to do this, but it's not that like there's a bunch of people sitting around wondering like, what do I do? There are thousands of people and partners that know what I do and depend on me to do it. It's like, it's not like I'm an employee that nobody knows what I do. Everybody in our office knows what I do. They all can tell, like everybody knows what I do. It's really like with this new person came in and was just like, yeah, but do we need to do that? Like, can we just let somebody else do that?
There should be enough people there to be like, yes, he needs to do that. There needs to be somebody there who's like, yeah, you need to let Donnie do what he does because he does it. Nobody else does it. He makes it work. And I hate when you get people that come into a space that instead of learning how the operation works and then finding places to see where we can adjust or make things better, they just want to come in and just completely revamp stuff. It's like, bro, you don't know how this works. Like, come in, watch how we work, and then if you see places where we can actually make adjustments, let's talk about them.
Like I said, I'm trying to remain.
Like, you're not going to do my job.
I'm trying to remain open-minded, and I'm trying to be flexible, and I'm trying not to be rigid, but I don't want to feel taken advantage of. I'm not going to go do something I really don't like. I put up enough with the job because I love what I do. If you take that part away, I am kind of like, why am I coming?
Yeah, I don't want to be here.
Yeah. Why am I here? This is why I'm here. I'm here because this is what I do. And I'm good at it. And like, I think it's in your best interest if you let me do it. But if you're not going to let me do it, why am I here?
Right.
And I just I don't know. Dude, I'm zapped. I'm so stressed. I'm exhausted. Like I can't.
Yeah. It's a tough spot.
I'm on the brink. I'm on the brink for sure. Because now I'm like, I just keep going through my head of all these, like, it feels like the end of I don't know, like a life.
Yeah.
I've done so much. Super Bowls and World Cups and NCAAs and bridge collapses and snowmageddons, and I've been on CNN and I've been around the country, and there are thousands of people that think that I'm really, really good at what I do.
You would think that would speak for itself.
Boss doesn't. It's just like, or I guess he thinks I'm good at it. He needs something else to get done, and that's on him. Like, that's his prerogative. I'm not even saying that that's wrong. If his boss is like, I need this to get done, I mean, I get it. But if you think getting it done is me doing it, we've got a problem.
Right. You pull somebody else. You pull other people whose job that is supposed to be to do it, not the guy who does something completely different. Well,
we have other members who are working on things, and he's like, man, they're by themselves. They need help. And I'm like, okay, so let's hire some help. Like I think that's the hard part is that he keeps I'm sorry, I don't want to dump on that. I don't want to make this show about this man.
Nah, man, it's cool.
He keeps, like, all right, Donnie, give me like the 3 things you're working on, as he keeps saying. And I can give you a total list of what I'm doing. That's not a problem. Me accounting for what I do is not a problem. But what I'm having a hard time getting him to understand is that I think he thinks that when I get those 3 things done, that I'm in the clear and I have nothing to do. And it's hard to get him to appreciate, or there's a challenge, there's a gap in him understanding that when I get those 3 things done, they will be replaced by 3 more things to do. And then tomorrow, 3 more things will come. And then next week, when I meet with the next person, they will have 3 things to do. And then they will have 3 things to do. And it's like, I don't think he thinks that what I do is a job. I think he's like, oh, well, he'll just fix it when it needs fixing. Like that's, like, it's a program. It's a whole thing. It keeps going. It's a cycle. Like it's not if we don't mess with it, it'll just sit there and work forever. That's not what it is, man.
What's your job title?
Now, because we retitled a couple years ago, I'm a battalion chief.
So he really has no idea what you're.
But in layman's terms, like if I was to put on a resume that people don't understand, I'd be either a web UC engineer or administrator or an application manager.
You're also a DBA.
Like sort of. Yeah, I couldn't explain to you how. I mean, I just know the things that I know, like just that. I can't explain to you the bigger thing, but yeah, I maintain our database in that way. I can restore backups. I can take backups. I can dump tables, clear indexes. You know, like I know how to get my job done in SQL. I wouldn't call me a DBA, but I know more about my database than some of our DBAs do, and they know that.
You're 1,000%. You're a DBA. Like I think that's one of the larger problems with a lot of county and city IT is that they do not know how to aptly name what the positions are at all. So when you get people who come in, like they have no idea what your job really entails because it's worded entirely wrong. Like our system administrators are called systems analysts. They're not analyzing a goddamn thing. So you think they're actually sitting there and doing analytical stuff. That's not what they're doing at all. They're running application servers. Like it's just completely wrong.
So we had somewhat of a blow up today after, not crazy. I didn't go. I'm trying my best, and I think that's why I'm so stressed. Is I'm trying so hard not to like push the button. Like I can't. I've never tried this hard not to push the button in my whole life, and I feel like I'm just like holding it all in, you know. And it's definitely making it worse. You know, I'm getting like angry. I'm like on the brink of crying. I'm so irritable. You know, I'm just like really not happy. I'm not digging like this vibe or anything at all. And today, after kind of like this exchange, and this exchange was quick, and you could just tell, like, I was like, oh, he has a whole idea of what we're all about to be doing that I'm not on board with. And I went to my direct because she'll be like the new second in charge. And I was like, hey, enough beating around this bush. Like, if this is what's happening, let me know and I'll go somewhere else. I was like, and I'm not threatening you. I'm not telling you. I'm not going to do this. I was like, it has nothing to do with that. I'm like, I'm not trying to get my way. If this is your vision, I don't need to be here. I don't fit in that vision. This is not what I want to do. I'll go somewhere else. They let me do what I want to do. Because there's a lot of motivators in life. Money is a huge one. People got to pay bills and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I am not particularly motivated by money. I think you know that. I don't know if our listeners, I think you know that. You know that about me.
Yeah, I know that very much so. I don't think either of us are particularly motivated by money at all.
I gladly take $30,000 pay cut to do what I like doing versus a $20,000 increase to do what they want me to do.
Right.
In a heartbeat. Yesterday. You know, because I get a lot of reward. I feel rewarded for what I do. I feel like I help.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
there's a sense of pride in your work, knowing that what you do and how it affects other people and how it takes care of things.
I've helped thousands, and it makes me feel good, and I'm proud of it. You're right. I'm proud to tell my family what I do and my friends. I'm happy to talk about it, and yeah, I don't want to not do it. Like, I like what I do so much that I don't want to not do it. And I don't know, it puts me in a weird space. Because like I said, I don't know. I've never been in this position before. So I'm like torn. I feel like maybe I'm being like a stick in the mud, and I'm being like a disgruntled employee that's like too rigid to change. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like I've earned this. Mm-hmm. Like I've earned this. Like I built this place, you know?
What you do is very special. I mean, you get so many different organizations that are like, hey, we need Donnie to come show our people how to do this. We need him to do this. We need him to do the Super Bowl. We need him for this activation. Like, you are very special at what you do. You are important. And it just really sucks when you have somebody new who comes in and doesn't understand that.
The people that we have that work with us, they weren't here. You know, things change. That's not their fault. But like, a big reason that they're here is that we started to grow largely because of the work that me and my boss were doing. You know, I won't take all the credit. I'm not like that crazy, but we really got us here. Like, we got a little extra money because we started to show some promise, and then that turned into something, and we got a little more, and we got a little more. Like, I've been here for all of that, you know, and the idea that somebody's going to come in and be like, oh, we'll just stop that. Like, it's fine the way it is. That didn't get us here.
Right.
You know, we were on the brink of being shut down when there was just 2 of us, not when we had 20 people, when it was just 2, and we did everything with just the 2 of us, and we grinded all week long. And I worked overnights and 50-hour shifts and whatever that needed to get done to get the job done. Like, I did that. I accomplished that. We got there. And it just feels like, yeah.
Further infuriates me that your boss didn't give you any kind of heads up at all.
He told me
this type of stuff happens.
We did talk today, finally, as he left. Literally at the end of the day.
Wow.
And, you know, he ultimately, what he said was, he said that he didn't think that he could just like face me one-on-one, is ultimately what he said.
So cowardly.
He was like, I was really having a hard time, like, figuring out what to do, what to say. And then, you know, when we talked, and it was probably about as good as I could have hoped for, but I told him what I was feeling today. He's like, you can tell. He's like, something's not right. I was like, I think I'm gonna have to go. And he didn't want to hear that. He was like, God, you can't do that to them. And I was like, dude, they're doing it to me.
I was gonna say it's the opposite.
Yeah, it's like, it's not that at all. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, prayerfully, you will be able to make it through this. They will recognize your importance and allow you to continue to do the excellent work that you do, and realize your worth and your value, and stop trying to step on your toes and push you in to do things that you have no business doing, because that's not your job. It's not what you do.
Yeah, and I don't want it to come off, and I know you're not saying it. I just want to reiterate because it makes me feel better. It's not that I wouldn't help or do something, you know,
right
here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't seem like what's being. It was more like, hey, we've got this done that needs to get done. It's like a 5-day-a-week job for the next 6 months. Like that's a job. You know, that's not a project. Yeah. That's a job. And what about my job that I currently do? What are we going to do with it for 6 weeks? Just not do it at all? Just put it on ice? I'm not okay with that. Yeah, that's my life's work. It's like my livelihood. It's like my blood, sweat, and tears. Like I mean, you know this.
Rely on that.
Our folks may not, or they definitely don't. You know this. Mm-hmm. I'll stay awake 2-3 in the morning, tinkering with it for no reason, just to make it better.
Yep.
You know, like the amount of care that I put into it is deep. I'm not charging my work for that. I wake up and go right back to work, and my boss knows that. And I won't even say a thing. I do it because maybe I got on something and I want to like, I got to find some JavaScript, make this work. And I'll just go down a rabbit hole trying to make it work.
Yep.
That's coding. Coding isn't,
1,000%.
We'll just write the code to fix it. Coding is, we'll try to figure it out. We'll try to write some code that makes it work. And I do that all the time. You know, so it's a huge culture shock. Like it's a huge, I mean, for me, it's a huge change. And I feel immature in a sense that when I talk to a lot of other people my age, even a little older than me, I feel like a lot of other people have gone through this and I just never have. And when I talk to people, they're like, oh yeah, this happened to me then, and this happened to me this time, and I had this boss, and it just seems like part of me is wondering if I'm just like over exaggerating it all because, you know, like it seems somewhat normal, but like to me, like I don't feel like this is normal at all. Like I'm very upset. Just like, this is not cool, man.
No, the thing is, like, you've been there for so long, so you've done so much and you've built something, So to have somebody come in and try to completely upend that, that's not
Yeah, and like
normal.
it hurts, and I don't want to leave. I feel like a lot of people depend on me. If I walk out the door, I'm like turning my back on them a little bit because I know it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse, way worse. Maybe not 3 months because of how good I am, but it will. Give it time. You let some people start tinkering around back there, start adding some boards, start messing with some fill, and it'll go bad real fast. I've seen it. I've fixed those systems. I've helped other people with those systems. I've revamped other people's systems to get them back from people like that. And like I've seen it, what happens when it goes bad. And it's honestly, it's like almost like they're spoiled. Like they think it just runs on its own because it runs so well.
Well,
My wife was like, let something happen, and just be like, well, I have another project.
I mean, that's very true. You could be like, well, you took me off of it. Like I tried to explain to you that I have to maintain this. Like there is work.
And I just hate. Don't you hate that mindset?
It does. It sucks.
Like, some shit. It's like I gotta break the thing that I love to prove to you that it's worth it.
Like that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to maintain it and keep it working.
You remember,
like it breaking is like the exact opposite of what I do.
I think I told you this back when we migrated. I told the IT department that I was doing patch day, and one of their new people was like, "Why are you patching the application?" And I was like, "Because there's a new version." And they're like, "But does it work?" Yeah, it works.
I hate that. I hate that
so do
much.
I hate that so much. They're like, "Leave it alone. As long as it works, never touch it." And you're like, you were making a huge problem down the road because you skip 5 or 6 different updates and you don't understand the dependencies. You try to jump ahead 3 years from later and then everything breaks. Like that's not how this works. You can't do that.
This is where we are right now at my job.
See?
We have not updated anything in years, and my director now is finally paying attention, and he's like, we are 10 years behind. We've been telling you this for years because you don't let us have maintenance periods and take anything down and do any updates or upgrades.
Exactly. So then fast forward to now where this new guy comes in and that's all I'm hearing. I'm just hearing that mentality. It's the mentality, right?
Is it just
that's what I'm saying? It's people like
like where you don't want to like update
right?
things. It's like if it's not this
I feel like
is
I'm
why
talking
we're
to
on,
the only person that's hearing me all day today, Delvin. This is great.
This is why we're on server 2008 in 2023 because it worked.
Yeah.
That's not how any of this is supposed to happen.
Exactly.
You get new computers every 5 years. We need to update the servers and applications every couple of years as well.
So when people tell me
just sit on it.
So when people tell me, hey, just get together and hash it out, it feels like this isn't something that can be hashed out. It's literally like a mentality. It's like a whole, like his way of thinking how to do business is opposite of mine. I'm very leading on the front edge. As I was told him earlier, I lead. Everybody follows my lead. I set the example for everybody. Like everybody else follows what I'm doing, and he's like, oh, well, we don't need to do that though. We don't have to be that good. Just hang back and we'll have you do these other things. And it's like, I mean, and there's a part of me that's like, I appreciate that. Like from your perspective, from your shoes, I get it. You need other things to get done. You want to do that. But what you're not accounting for is my ability to think for myself. I'm not a drone. I'm not just like, oh, sir, yes, sir. Let's get over there and do this other thing. No, you're not accounting for it. I'm here because I do this. And if you take that away, now like for the first time since I almost left to Ocala, we were doing this when I almost went to Florida. We were doing this, right? You guys, we were still doing this. Yeah. For the first time since then. So 2016, 17, I'm thinking about leaving. Yeah. And I thought I was going to be here for the next 30 years. Like that's the wildest shit to me. I honestly was like, oh, I'll retire here. Like I've done everything. I've done everything I needed to do to have to feel safe in my employment. Here. Right. And now in 3 weeks, now I'm like, I actually think I have to update my resume and find another job. Crazy. So
John 32 was Windows 97 like a Canadian only version? Because it was 95 and then 98. I'm just checking.
They got is 95, but they didn't get to Canada until
they didn't get to 97.
They changed the year.
Okay.
The Comp USA version.
Yeah.
much more operating system.
Yes.
What was their equivalent of Comp USA? What do you think? Wait a minute. What's the grocery store? Real Canadian Superstore? So it had to be Real Canadian Computing.
Real Canadian Computer.
RCC, baby.
RCC. Oh yeah, I'm gonna hop over to the RCC and pick up a Voodoo 3DFX card.
Over there,
Thank you
Moose
for the
Jaw.
laugh. Thank you for the laugh.
Yeah. Well, I really hope that it works out for you. Whether it is, you leaving and finding something better, or them realizing how valuable or invaluable you are to what you do, to your department, to the city, to the county.
The scariest
they
thing is I'm
realize
scared
that.
of leaving and finding something worse. Like the
Yeah,
unknown is
exactly.
very scary.
That is also part of it.
I haven't done this. I wasn't planning on doing this, and I haven't done this. I haven't done this since 2009.
Yeah. It's a long time.
I feel more confident ever to sit in an interview and tell people what I'm capable of. But it's a different world. It's a different environment. It's a different landscape. It's just, I'm stressing ultimately because, man, I had a plan, and it all went to shit.
Yeah, that's how it usually happens.
Yeah. And the sad part, I was just like, really, I thought, like, of all the things, I thought this was like the one that was good.
Right. The least.
Kids going to college, all these things, the cars and life and everything. Like, this was the solid. And now just everything feels not solid. Except for my wife. I'll just put that out there. She is great at being there for me and helping me and supporting me. She's been on the phone with me all day. Talk me through things, talk me off the ledge. I think she's worried about me. I think that may be more than anything else. Yeah. Like I'm sadly I'm terrible at hiding my feelings. I mean, you guys knew as soon as you joined the call. Like people know that's the sad part.
I mean, I knew.
I got people checking me.
Johnny's quiet.
I got people checking on me. Like I had people calling me. They're like, "Hey, you good? I'm hearing something." So like people apparently know. I'm shitty at hiding it. So
I mean, the thing, you shouldn't have to hide it. Like, quite honestly, like it's a huge transition. This is somebody you've worked with for a long time who is now leaving, and you've got a brand new boss who wants to completely kind of change everything you do. Like, there's nothing wrong with having feelings about that and letting them be known.
He feels so centered on me too. That's the other thing. It's like, why is all the fun focus on me? I think it's because I think the stuff that the other people are doing are more operations driven. He's ops guy, former police officer and stuff. So I think he's like, oh, they're good. Like they're moving things, they're out and about, they're doing things. Donnie's like sitting at home playing on his computer. I think it's kind of like that thing.
He doesn't realize, I mean, a battalion chief is not somebody who typically does anything technical. Like it's just not.
Oh yeah. And he knows that. He does that. I mean, he's been around with, it's not like he didn't just walk in the door. He knows that. He knows that the title's like a sham. They did that because of, there's the wife. He knows that the titles that when they redid it, because we took over fire, we had to adopt a different naming scheme. He knows that's just kind of like a sham. But I think he values watching people, like if you're out moving a table, putting a cone out, he's like, that's work. Like what I'm doing, God. I don't think he's like, that's work. He's like, we gotta get some work.
Is this guy one of those old, I need to have you under my thumb, I can kind of see what's happening, versus
older?
Nothing's broken, so I know you're getting it done. Like
he's older. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I'm dealing with that whole thing with like my bosses. I'm like, if we're constantly working on break fix, that means we're not doing our jobs. Like we should not be working on break fix constantly. Everything should be running smoothly. Most of our break fix tickets should just be password resets, things of that nature, so we can actually innovate and update and maintain, versus every ticket being because our print server went down again.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to see us doing the work. It should be, man, there's not a lot of tickets coming in because you guys are efficient. Now we can deploy all this equipment. We can replenish and replace the things that need to be done. We can maintain and move into the future versus constantly taking care of the print server that's broken.
I'll even add a cherry on top of this day. You know how my day started? Halloween happened last night, and I don't even think I could really all enjoy Halloween. I mean, I had fun, don't get me wrong, but like I was thinking about this the whole time. So I wake up, had a good morning. I made breakfast for my family. Got my in-laws came over for Halloween. I told you they were coming, and I made breakfast for the whole family, and we sat together and eat dinner. And I told them yesterday, because all the festivities today with my boss, proclamation, everything, it started at 10. I told them I'm not going to be there at 10. I have family.
Mm-hmm.
And you're lucky I want to be here at all because I was going to take the day off. But because you scheduled this today, I will come. But I'm not telling my family that I'm not going to have, like, we were planning this. I'm not going to do that. It's not my fault he quit. That's his problem.
Right.
And they were messaging me 9:45. Where are you? It's just like, what did you think? I was joking? You think it was a bluff? I told you. Here's the thing. I told them literally in a team meeting, not in passing, not in group chat, a team meeting yesterday. I will not be here at 10. So I wasn't.
Pre-existing plans.
Now, when I got hired back in 2009, when the agency was on the brink and they were trying to hire anybody they could, and nobody wanted the job, the only requirement that I had for the job was a parking space. Parking downtown is an absolute nightmare. And I was like, I need a parking space. They gave me one. Had a parking space for years. Did all of my work and everything for years and years and years. Maybe 10 years of parking space. And then we started to grow, and I started to, started to offload all the extra duties I was carrying to focus on the thing I was doing. And then we started to rotate the thing because I wasn't coming in all the time. And then COVID happens. I'm working more than ever. They gave my parking spot to somebody else. Totally fine. I'm working remote. I don't care. Now they've lost that parking spot. And now they're like making a step further. He wants everybody to start coming in back into the office all the time. And their solution for this for me was, well, we got a parking pass to a parking deck across the street. Not like right across it, like a couple blocks away. So now they want me to drive downtown every day. Not every day. They haven't said that ever yet. They're giving the insinuation many days, most days. And then park at the parking deck and then walk over. Okay. I went down there today. Car didn't even work. I had to park further away and pay and walk down. Because my boss is just like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, look, man, like I get what you had to do. I understand it. I did tell him, I was like, I hated the way you did it. He did apologize for that. He did say that. So I felt better with that. I was like, but everything that I've done here, I was like, everything I've done here. And you know what it meant, what it meant for this place, like the office, like even the, like the management, they have no fucking clue. Like county leadership, commissioners, they have no idea what we are. He knows that like nobody would talk to us if it wasn't for all those years. Right. And I was like, and then today I had to come in. I was like, and I had to park 5 blocks away and walk to an office that is largely here because I'm here. I was like, how am I supposed
to see how this looks, right?
Yeah. Like, how else am I supposed to feel? I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not trying to sound conceited, but how do you not come away from that feeling taken for granted? Like, I'll just do whatever. Take my parking spot away, maybe come in, give me a whole another job, maybe walk the street in the cold. It's 37 degrees here.
Oof.
And their thing is, oh, okay. Well, other people do it, Donnie. Okay.
Not other people.
And I don't want to say it like that. Like, it doesn't mean like that, but it's like, we're not all the same. And if that's what you're going to do, like we're all this, like the people that got here yesterday are just the same as you, then it's time to go. That's ultimately at the end of all of these little tangents that keep going down to, it just feels like it's time to go, maybe.
Yeah. If you want a drone that's just going to come at your beck and call and do whatever random stuff you want me to do versus what I've been doing, then this might not be the right fit, like you said.
Yeah, it's just ultimately what it feels like.
Sucks. It sucks, but and then y'all are going to be complaining, and then you're going to contract me and pay me even more to do what you want me to do, to do the stuff that I should have been doing.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Sucks. It sucks, and I'm sorry. And I just hope I pray that it gets better. I pray that the season of Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of that just it makes them realize how important you are, and it all starts working the way it should, and you're appreciated for what you do.
Yeah, I just wanted to keep doing my job. That's all I wanted. I don't think that was too much to ask for or hold on to. I have in the back of my head that I'm going to be painted as like this, unwavering, unflexible employee. And it's like, man, I just wanted to do the job that I've been doing. Like, that's all. I'm not asking for more. I don't want to be promoted. I'm not doing any of that. We've got people that are like, I want to move up. I want extra responsibility. I'm like, now's the time. I'm like, I really liked what I was doing. Good at it. Just wanted to keep doing it.
Just want to keep doing it. Yeah.
Yep. So,
well,
anyway, video games.
Have you been playing anything?
Yeah, I have. And before I say that, I would apologize to our listeners. They don't sign up for this.
Nah. They're here for us.
They are, but this is, I'm just looked at the clock, man. This is 40 minutes of this. They didn't sign up for that. That's too much. We should put in like a timestamp in the notes that like the show starts at 40. Like just give them the option if they don't. Like for the people, I know the 7 are here for me and you and us, but outside the 7, what the fuck? Why does this guy keep talking about it? I don't give a shit about his job.
If you're here for this shit as much as you are for whatever else we talk about the rest of the episode. That's what the show is. It's 3 guys hanging out, venting when we need to vent, talking about some video games and just having a good time.
I mean, that's why I do this show. That's why I show up for you guys.
Yeah.
Yes, I did play
the news in depth. So
some video games. I beat Wonder. Shaq celebrated 300 episodes this past weekend.
Sure
with
did.
Jeff Grubb and Mike Minotti. It's crazy to think 300, man.
That's a lot.
And we had Halloween, which was a blast. And house was on display and stuff. In-laws came over. It was nice getting some family time going. I beat Mario Wonder last weekend before Shaq 300. Love it. Great game. Pretty sure it's my game of the year right now. I rank them kind of as I go. And as I beat them, I kind of like how much, what did I think of this game? And the fun factor for Mario Wonder is so through the roof. Like it just topples almost everything else that I can even think about it. It's so good. It's both excellent and super fun at the same time. Like it's both itself is really good at what it's doing and then also gives me so much joy. Super fun to play.
That's good to hear.
I played some 3DS this weekend for whatever. I have no idea why. Nostalgia. I just got in the mood.
Food.
I got it right here. I'm still playing it. It's been next to me this whole time. Yeah, I think it might be comfort food. You're right. I didn't even think about that. I've been stressed. I started playing some damn Mario Golf. It's like I started playing like some Zelda. I was like, I got to get out of that. I got to do something. And I played a little Alan Wake. Maybe 3 or 4 hours. I haven't played anything this week. Like since Monday, I haven't done anything. But I played maybe 3 or 4 hours Alan Wake, and I like it. It's good. I don't like it as much as the greater, I think, reception has been.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm too early. I mean, I think 3 or 4 hours is pretty good, but it's slow. Like it's a slow burn. And I just think if you're really into that, maybe if you're into. I actually talked to Jeff about it pre-show. We were just hanging out waiting for Rebecca to show up, and he was like, "I'm digging that stuff, though." I was sharing the same thing. So I think if you're digging that stuff, you're like, "This is an amazing game." It's not that I'm not digging it. I'm just kind of like, okay, can we like play the game yet? Like, can we get a move on? It's got that little PlayStation shuffle, that PlayStation third party, like that little run shuffle. You run around and pick things up off the ground and shit.
Yes.
And I did a little combat, and it's just like I could use a lot more combat. It's different. It's not like the same as Alan Wake 1, like design wise at all. Or at least not yet, maybe as the better way. I don't know if it gets better, but I'm sure it does a little bit. But like if this is kind of it, like it's just I haven't even thought my thoughts through of this. If you can hear me just rambling, I'm literally just off the cuff here. It's very like menu heavy. I think that's the thing. It's interrupting. Like you'll go pick up something and it'd be like, you got to go back to the mine place. You got to get that on the case board. You got to get a profile. And it's just like, you're kind of like hopping from the game to it and back in the other thing and back in. And I'm just like, I just can we play the game though? Can we advance and fight some folks and play the game yet? I'm not saying it's bad. I don't want to give that impression. I do not feel as enamored with it as I did Alan Wake 1. I'm not the biggest Alan Wake fan. I'm not telling you it's great or anything, but I played Alan Wake on 360 and loved it. Thought it was really good. Really good survival horror game. Did it new, almost like a Fatal Frame, doing something new and different, right? Your fucking weapons, a flashlight. And so I was like, okay, I'm with this. This is like,
can we get there?
Yeah, like this is a damn detective game. You know, like what is this? Damn Persona? I'm not trying to build a case or something. Come on, man. Let's get back to the survival horror game. So
wow. Well,
yeah.
I mean, at least you've enjoying it somewhat, but hopefully it picks up for you. I personally have no idea because
it struggles. I mean, it's a heavy game. We talked about that, the performance wise. I'm playing it at, I could play it at 4K 60 if I wanted to. I'm playing it at 1600, which is my little comfort zone. And I'm playing it at probably like 85 frames a second. But I noticed getting out of the intro area, that dipped down. 85 became 72. And then when I started doing action, like 72 became 62. And I was like, oh boy. And yeah, like when I got into Bright Falls and stuff, and it's a beautiful game. I mean, I'll give it that. Visually, it's very nice and dense. A lot of stuff. Very ornate, like very full, polished, like, you know, like done. Like it looks like they went over this with multiple passes and like filled in all the nooks and crannies. Very dense. And heavy. But boy, yeah, like it's the longer I play it, the more I'm like, maybe I should turn the settings down even more. You know, because I don't even want to get to the point where it starts to like waver. I want that rock solid performance. So I always try to give myself a little overhead. Like, let's get it into the 70s or 80s and we don't have to worry about it too much. But yeah, tough. Struggle game.
Hopefully it gets even better. Like I said,
I don't even know if I'm going to go back to it.
Oh,
Call of Duty comes out tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that.
I'm not going to go play. I'm not going to go put Post-it notes on a board when Call of Duty's out. Like, okay, you go to the back burner now.
Call of Duty comes in Alan Wake. It's been fun. We'll maybe talk next year.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm going to quit on anything. I might come back to it, but I am at a point now where though, like if it doesn't pick up soon, I might bounce. You know, it's like, okay, you're cool. I've seen what you're doing, but that's not what I want to be doing. You know, I might be at that point with Alan Wake.
That makes sense. I can understand that.
I'll give it a little bit more time to see if it picks up, but I'm not after Call of Duty. I'm not going to not play Call of Duty for this.
All right. Delvin, what about you, man? What you been up to?
Have you lost your mind? And you think have you lost your goddamn mind? You think I'm gonna follow that? Yeah. Absolutely not. No. This is like
what Call of Duty and Alan Wake?
No, all that. We just had 40 minutes of that. No. This is called a punt. I am punting my pass away.
Back to you, Dev.
You can fuck off with that.
He just hit you with the reverse card. Reverse.
Yeah. I honestly, I've been dealing with a lot of the same stuff Donnie has.
See, God damn it.
Crazy.
Reverse.
Yeah, I had my engineer come into my office today. We were just talking about just some of the issues we're having with just AD profiles and stuff like that. And it's a lot of the same stuff. Like he just is like, they are not giving me support. They want to support. They say, we'll give you the engineer 2 position, but you have to already be doing it. And he's like, you didn't give me the support to be engineer 1. Why would I think you'd give me more support at the 2 space that you want me to already be doing before you give me the promotion, and then you're going to give me an extended probation? It's like, this is nonsense. And they had a meeting with our systems analysts, which are just our sysadmins, talking about, well, we're going to be looking at you guys with a fine-tooth comb and making you guys make sure we need you guys to do so much more. We're 10 years behind. It's like, bro, we've been trying to get maintenance periods to actually update anything for the last 5 years, and you guys keep telling us, no, we can't take anything down. And you wonder why we're behind. You won't let us do our jobs. Like, you're completely hamstringing us. So yeah. I completely understand like where you're coming from and feeling undervalued, because the thing is, like, y'all don't realize how much work we actually do to just make sure stuff is running. And as soon as we're done with one thing, something else comes, like immediately. Like there isn't enough downtime. Like it's it's a cycle, and it's like you guys just don't seem to understand that in any way, shape, or form, and it's driving us all crazy. It's like we're just gonna turn off all your computers and walk out the door one day and let you figure it out.
That'll work.
Like,
good idea.
Like, we'll just unplug this one cable that's really the backbone to make sure everybody can log in their computers.
Yeah.
And, you know,
see how long it takes you guys to figure it out.
Yeah, see what you guys can do without us. Because ultimately, I don't think you understand how integral we are and how we're tired of being treated like the redheaded stepchildren.
Yeah.
It's no bueno. So, yeah, I feel you there. Outside of that, I've been playing Spider-Man, and it's been great.
Oh, yeah?
Good.
I'm
you didn't beat it
thoroughly enjoying it. Nah, I, all these people that have already finished it, I'm like, y'all play too much.
We're beating that shit like 4 hours. They're like, done.
Like, what is going on? You guys have all finished it and platinumed it. What am I doing wrong here? But I'm just taking my sweet time doing all the side stuff. I'm apparently 47% done with the entire game. And maybe halfway through the campaign, but yeah, I'm just doing like all the side stuff. I'm like, oh, that story mission, whatever. There's just so much other stuff going on that are just side stories that are really good that actually pick up from the previous 2 games. So it's all integrated. So that's just been a lot of fun, and just seeing the stories play out and how the character development is with Miles and Peter. So I've just been having a really good time with that. But I'm really itching to also get back to Cyberpunk. Just haven't had a moment, but God, I want to get back to that game. And that
I think I'm gonna do that after Call of Duty.
Glorious. Yeah, and then watching basketball. You know,
I haven't watched much highlights.
I haven't watched a whole lot. I've watched the highlights.
Shit, what do you guys think about Harden? We even talk about it?
We didn't.
Did we talk about it?
We didn't talk about it. I mean, just there was some. I mean, TPR. You guys had a little discussion, but we didn't talk.
That was a terrible trade for the. I mean, it's about as good as they could have done, but it's a terrible trade.
Yeah, it's a bad trade, but I get it.
Yeah, but I don't think they could have done better. I'd like, so like, does that make it a good trade, or like I don't like. I am of the sense, if I were the GM in these situations, like these lose situations, then I'm going to be the spiteful one.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'd have been like, "Hard, you stay playing. You can
like that's me. I'm like, all right, well, you can stay home.
Yeah,
because I'm not trading you for that. That don't help me at all. No,
yeah, we didn't put you on the. You didn't get to come on this road trip. You can just chill, because until I can get what I want for you, I don't.
And I definitely ain't sending you where you want to go. That's for sure.
Yeah,
they're the only one interested. Oh well.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Sucks for y'all.
That was a terrible trade, but I get it.
I mean, they got picks. Okay. If somebody comes available,
they got picks. Yeah.
If Trey comes available, Siakam, Levine, Cat. I couldn't imagine putting Cat and Embiid together, but you know, we've seen Stranger Things.
Yeah, that's true.
When somebody comes available, unless Utah or Oklahoma City want them, suddenly Philly becomes a place. Now, the best thing about that is that they saved their cap. Right, their big thing is that they didn't want to take back long-term money because they have money this summer. For the first time in like 15 years, Daryl Morey can go shopping. He can become a free agent place. He's always had to trade for his stars because he's always used every cap he had to, to get assets. Now I think they've got like 65 million in cap space. They can go get somebody.
He can make some moves.
Yeah, they've got some flexibility.
Is Embiid going to stick around for it still? Like
he's under contract. He can get choice. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got choice.
I mean, he's got choice.
He can refuse to come, and he can pull hard,
right?
Yeah. I don't think he's going to do that. They're good. I
don't think so either.
And to give Daryl a little credit, these guys are way past their prime. Like these are has-been role players. But off the bench, Marcus Morris, Rocco, and Batum. Is it Batum that went back? They can help.
Yeah.
They can help. Yeah. They can help Maxey and Harris, and like they can log minutes and do something. Not great, but they can give you 10.
Yep.
That matters in the playoffs. That matters in the playoffs.
They can get you to, All-Star break, maybe make some more moves, see if anybody becomes available. Like it's possible to really, turn this up. Plus again, you've got picks that you can also trade and see what you can do. So like it's upside. The Clippers, on the other hand, I don't know what I don't know what this is going to be. apparently they're kicking the Lakers' asses right now.
Are they?
I mean, one of my boys in the Discord was just like, he said, I'm about tired of these dudes getting asses.
Cavs won. They've been on a 3 games. They beat the Knicks finally. He got the Knicks.
Got him.
That shit's been coming for 8 months. They finally got him. Let's see here. The Lakers, the Clippers are up 39-26. And that's 13. They ain't beating Snottum. Ain't too bad.
Yeah, so my boy, he's exaggerating, but I don't even think Harden's not even playing tonight. I don't think. So
what do they do with him?
I don't know what you. I don't know. I don't know what you do with that. Do you make him come off the bench?
You move Russ. You move Russ to the bench.
See, that's the thing. Do you? Because I feel like Russ and Paul George, like they're working. Like that team works. Like, does Harden elevate the rest of them that much? Because I feel like he's very ball dominant in a way that ball dominant.
That's the problem. They're all ball dominant.
They're all ISO players with no shooters.
What I think is off the bench, though, they've got Bones and Powell, and then they got PJ now. Yeah, somebody else that's a scorer. I'm forgetting the name. They got another scorer. So off the bench, they've got a lot of scorers. They don't have a lot of distributors.
Yeah.
So you move Russell to the bench squad, and he elevates the bench.
Does he become a distributor there, though?
I think so.
Because remember, he was pissed about coming off the bench with the Lakers. I don't know that he's going to be like
Harden's gonna be pissed coming. He's not.
He's not. But you know what, Harden? This ain't your team. We just kind of got you here. Like you step into this, you got to figure out your role. We've already established.
I mean, I'm sure they'll stagger it.
Our rotation.
Do you think they try to play them all at the same time?
I do think we're going to see that.
That's an awful idea.
Yes,
it's a terrible idea.
It is because there's no shooting. It's going to be
screens.
Gross.
Who guards the other team's best player?
Russ.
How do you help when that player gets switched off? Who's coming to help?
Paul George.
Who's the help defender?
PG is the help defender because he's playing rebounding. Zubac.
This is a terrible plan. This is a really.
I agree.
People try to make fun of the Suns. At least the Suns make sense. I can play those guys together. You know why? Because Kevin Durant's 7 feet tall. Like it works.
He's 7 feet tall, but he don't box out.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter though.
Did you see?
He
what
can put his hand up. That's all that matters. He can raise his hand.
He can, but will he? Because last night he didn't. Wemby just walked right by him.
Yes, he did.
That put back, and then he gets the inbound and just stands there and gets it ripped. I'm like, oh my god! All you had to do was just put a hip out, a hand up, anything. But no, you're gonna complain. You're gonna look around like, why nobody box him out? That was you. Oh god!
Speaking of somebody who might be available, the Grizzlies are getting crushed by the Jazz right now. The Grizzlies haven't won a game yet. God. They're down by like 30 in the third.
Oh, did you see that Boston and Pacers game?
I didn't.
Look up the box score for that.
155 to 104.
That's what I was going to tell you. Yeah,
gosh.
Yeah, that was a
Boston got off, huh?
Yeah,
you're not playing defense.
I tried to tell y'all. I really like what Boston's doing. I thought that ever since they made their moves. Their big thing will be health, and specifically Porzingis. He's going to be the the straw that stirs the drink there. They got to keep him upright.
Yeah.
I think people sleep on him because they're like, who's going to be like the big? Who's going to bang? Like people got to sleep on him. He can when motivated. He can play very good defense.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't always. And I've always thought it's a motivation. It's a motivation and injury thing. He didn't do that in Dallas because he didn't have to. He didn't do it in Washington because, come on, he's in Washington. Yeah, in Boston, trying to win a ring, he's going to do it.
He's going to play. He's going to get it done. Because, I mean, And
they just got to get him there. They got to get him there, and then it'll take care of itself. But when he's on, if he's on, that team is brutal.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, 155. That is insane.
Yeah.
But the Clipper, I don't know what they do with Harden. Like that's. And I actually like the squad, like generally, not like that, but like generally their collection of players. They have a good bench, like it's underappreciated bench. They have role players. Like there's the pieces of something there. Is it like Do I think they can go with Denver? And that's the crazy thing, because I think the Clippers have like 10 or 11 dudes. I think Denver's got like 7, maybe. It's really like 6.5. But the problem is that their 5 is so good.
Yeah.
Like they can just beat you with 5.
Totally.
They don't really need the other ones.
They all just work. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're really tight. Like their 5 is close, and I feel like they can play blindfolded with each other. Like they know each other. Mm-hmm. You know, that'll be the thing that the Clippers, are they going to run sets?
I don't know what the hell they're going to do.
Are they going to run plays?
I don't know. You got
Kawhi doesn't run
ISO players. No, he doesn't. They're all ISO players, all of them, and nobody else can.
George will run plays. Paul will run.
PG could, but he's also very much like a.
Is anybody gonna cut?
No.
There's nobody cutting. There's nobody
Nobody's
cutting, right?
cutting.
This sounds like a nightmare, man. It really sounds like a nightmare.
Like, yeah.
And here's the thing, like, I don't want to be like, this can't work. But the reason that the reason that I feel that, we've seen this shit like happen so many times before. Mm-hmm. Like there's a history of, there's a super team, a collection of, like the all-star and like these people that used to be all-stars and the other all-stars, right? And they try but you're like, it never works. We've seen this over and over and over again. It never works. Yep. Like a big 3 is not a dream team, like a super team, like what this is. That's not a big 3 isn't just 3 all-stars. A big 3 is 3 complementing all-stars. Mm-hmm. A team. You have to play as a team. I don't know what this team is. They're gonna play 5 and 5. Would you play Zubac? I wouldn't. I'd play PJ.
Yeah, and PJ is undersized as it is.
Like but he's a good defender though.
Power forward. He is a good defender.
So I play him. No, I play him at the 5. I go full on Golden State. Right. 5 and 5. Put PJ in the corner.
Might as well
guard me. I dare you.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you can do. Let's just.
I would try to shoot your big men off the floor. I'd make Davis chase me. Come get some.
Sense.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like can't none of them just shoot like that. That's the other problem. We know
if they miss, then it doesn't work.
Yeah, we know
it doesn't work if you don't make some shots.
He's not shooting.
If you miss the threes, and instead of being Golden State, you're the Nets.
Yeah, that's what
you got to make them.
Like that's what's gonna be.
Oh boy!
Like right now on the floor, it's Bones, Russell,
Harden
Paul
can
George
shoot
at the 3, Kawhi at the 4, and Zubac.
Just not in the playoffs. He can shoot, not in the playoffs.
Yeah, we know that's gonna. Yeah, see, this is just. Ugh. I don't know.
I'm glad we talked basketball. That was a wild trade. They pulled that shit at 3 a.m, like hoping nobody.
Yeah,
would
I know.
find out.
It's like what? I woke up like what?
Yeah, like no one
I just can't believe you have an all-star, a perennial all-star, probably, honestly, a Hall of Famer. Not probably. James Harden, a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's Hall of Famer. He's Hall of Famer.
And you traded him for PJ Tucker, Robert Covington, which I don't think people in Philly know who Rocco is. I think most people in Philly thought he cashed in the league 6 years ago. He's been around a minute, man. And like some draft picks. Like you really talk about an asset going south.
Yeah.
I think Boston got more for Kyrie.
Yeah. And I just hate that it's just so player driven. Like we just have to give into these whims. Like, dude, you're under contract. Either show up and play or kick rocks.
Well, I actually think the issue in Philly is I think that they wanted to do that, but I kept hearing rumblings that the Players Association was about to get involved. That like because Harden was wanting to show up to work and they kept telling him no, now the players union got upset because they're like, you can't just keep him out because you don't want to. And I'm like, but the fuck you can, it's their team.
Right. It's exactly.
I think you should be able to do it. If you're being such an a-hole,
contract, like I don't have to play you.
Yeah, I don't want you. Here's the. I don't want you in the locker room. I don't want you in practice. I don't want you talking to my players.
Yeah. And you can take this DMP, coach's decision, all day long.
I wouldn't be in the James Harden business. That seems like a terrible business to be in. I just don't believe in him.
Me either.
I just don't believe in him.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll prove me wrong. He's a great player. Like very talented.
When he plays.
But when he's on, like he's really good. He's really good. Season. But it just seems like I don't know. I don't want to question his motivation or his effort. Yeah. Yeah.
He just doesn't. I'm hooping. Like I'm here to play and collect money. Like I just don't get that winner's attitude. Like he's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like he's trying to win. He's not a leader. It's not like
No.
he's leading a team anywhere. Like that's
If
the
anything,
other
he
problem.
shrinks away from that. When you need him the most is when he like starts passing the ball.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've
that's
just
the
seen
other
it.
thing.
We've
Who's
seen it
leading this
over
team?
and over, and like there have been bright spots. There have been. He's had good playoff performances. That year in Brooklyn, he was like the only thing going for them.
Yeah.
When KD got hurt and Kyrie, like he was giving it what he had to give. So I'm not saying it's all bad, but his attitude is toxic.
Yeah.
And it seems to he just leaves a huge wake everywhere behind him and just seems to go to shit. Nothing ever seems to work. And I think at some point you have to be like, okay, it's the player.
Yeah.
Like it has to be. Like if he keeps following you around and multiple, like it's you. You're the problem.
Yep.
It's not the team. It's not the coach. It's not the other players,
Yeah.
God damn, I remember Russ is like, I'm tired of seeing you, man.
I know, right? I think it's the third team they've played together on.
Haven't they all like been traded for each other? Like this is like the end of an era. Like they've all either been traded for each other or replaced the other one. Like it's like these four have been loosely connected for like 9 years.
And what's even funny is they're all from LA or SoCal. Like this Clippers team is like legit the Los Angeles Clippers. Like Paul George is
the Los
from,
Clippers, the Clips, or the half court thing. You remember that? The half court that we saw that shit looks just like a soda pop commercial.
Yeah, it does.
Grab a refreshing Clips.
Paul George is from Lancaster. Kawhi is from LA. Russell Westbrook is from LA. Norman Powell is from San Diego. Harden is from LA. Like all of them are from LA. Like it's just crazy that they're all here. It's really bizarre. And
maybe they can get enough regular season Harden to get Kawhi actually in the playoffs.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
Because you know Paul George and Kawhi are gonna miss some time due to injury. So hopefully Russell and Harden can step up and keep the ship afloat. Yeah.
I feel bad for Russ.
I do too, honestly.
He deserves one.
I feel bad for Paul George too. Like I feel like Paul George deserves something. Kawhi,
he had a made in Indy, but Russ has been so close.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of deserves one. I'd love to see him catch on as like a ring chaser on a. It'd be great, like if he got bought out, like man, just go be like the sixth man in Boston. Go to Denver. Go play with Jokic, man. Like okay, so wide open layups. Like go hoop, go get some, man.
I'd love for him to go to freaking Denver. That would be awesome.
That'd be fun.
Just like use your athleticism, cut and off ball, be that leader, be that dude, and like man, they will set the table.
Because that's the other thing. People love Russell Westbrook on their team. They love him as a teammate.
Yeah.
You never hear anything bad about Russ as a teammate. Yeah.
The thing that hurt him is like fantasy, like stat chasing. I think hurt Russ.
Mm-hmm.
If Russ played in like the 70s when it was about like playing hard and winning, doesn't matter how many shots you made or lost or percentages and all that, he'd be a stud. Like that's just a star. People would love him.
Yep.
Because he dies, man. He dies. He leaves it all out there. Always has.
Sure does. Mm-hmm.
Yep. How about now, Dylan?
Oh no, everything good, man. I think we done said enough.
You follow that? You can chime in now.
Nah, we get. We can get to these news stories.
Oh, I got something for you. I forgot.
Oh, what you got?
I'll be doing this on Shaq this week because I got some things, but I thought you would appreciate this. Check out this N64 game I'm about to play this week.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. Dragon Ball Kart?
Yeah.
What?
That is cool.
Huh.
This is a ROM hack. There's like a whole scene on N64 for ROM hacks. You can buy games that they print on cartridge. And this is a reskinned ROM hack of Mario Kart 64 with Dragon Ball Z characters and like sounds and power-ups.
That is cool.
And Jack and I are going to play some Dragon Ball Kart and report back on Shaq later this week.
That is cool.
We got Piccolo and like Frieza and Goku, Vegeta.
I love that community that mods these games and put it on. I didn't know they put them on carts. That's even more cooler.
Yeah, and like within N64, the emulation and stuff has gotten so good that like you can put like other systems games on carts. You can get like Game Boy games on 64, and you can get Super Nintendo games on 64. You can get compilations. I got like a collector's thing. It's got like a bunch of games on it and stuff like that. I did get my Everdream. That's why I bought it, because I got my Everdream 64. Okay. Have you ever seen this, Dev?
No, I don't know what the hell that is.
This is the Everdream 64. This is a cartridge that has every Nintendo 64 game on it.
Oh, wow.
You just put it in, turn it on, and every Nintendo 64 game's on it.
So it's got like 13 games on it?
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
Cold-blooded.
I believe the number is 340, I think is the library number.
And they all play good?
I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, I think so. I think they play really well.
Now I'm going to look this up.
Mm-hmm.
I never looked up how much it costs.
I never played Beatles Adventure Racing. That's honestly why I bought it. Rebecca keeps yelling at me to play. This is a racing game that these N64 kids swear by, including Rebecca. The Beatles Adventure Racing was a great.
Adventure Racing?
Yeah, I never played it.
Nonsense.
So I was going to buy the cartridge, and like a legit copy of the game's like $25-$30. Well, that's a lot for this game I've never heard of. I don't want to play. Like I thought it would be like $2. And then in looking around, I found that this is like a thing. It was Everdrive 64. And I was like, oh, I'll just take, instead of spending $30 on one game, I'll just spend, it was like $70 on all of them. I'll just get all of the games.
Oh my God. This is a racing game based on the new Beetle. I remember when this car came out.
Yeah.
They made a racing game based on that.
Gotta have it.
Jesus
Sounds like
Christ.
a stunner. Fire.
Oh, God. It just further solidifies my dislike of the N64.
How dare you?
Sorry.
You can get like Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow on 64, and they got the cartridge and everything. You just play the whole damn Pokemon game.
They also have a Super Everdrive for the Super Nintendo game.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Well, see, that's more my alley. Now you're speaking my language.
It's nonsense.
Just N64 is what totally kicked me off of Nintendo. I was like, all right, we've had enough. It's not a fan. Sorry.
And like I said, I'm not a collector. I have, I don't know, 20, 25 N64 games. So I've got some carts, but no, I'm not a collector. I'm not going to go buy them all. So like Everdrive, I was like, oh, that's easy. We'll just do that instead.
Yeah.
And I can dabble, or I can mess around to see if there's other stuff, I haven't played or forgot about, and just go dabble around with some of that stuff. See what's up.
Look, you've got
sports games.
You've got NBA Hang Time.
I have those on cart. Like those are ones I have. I got those already.
I think the only carts I have are Hang Time and Zelda.
Jack was so stoked when he found out that Kobe was on Hang Time, and then we had it.
Oh,
he found out, and he was like, "Dad, you should get this." And I was like, "Go in the box over there."
It's right over there.
He's like, "Oh, we got it." Yeah, we've had Kobe. I've had that shit for 25 years. It's been a minute, man.
I'm talking about NBA Hang Time, like the NBA Jam, like successor, not Kobe's courtside 64.
Oh, okay, yeah. Jack doesn't like it. He hates it. Like he loved it. The Kobe's on it, but he started playing. And he was like, "This is terrible."
It is. It's awful game.
Yeah, that's I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
NBA courtside.
It was just the. No, I mean I know the name of the game. I didn't know if he was. I thought you were talking about the developer.
Oh,
I don't know.
I have no idea. It doesn't matter. It was.
It's just one of the the basketball game I got, and I just never got rid of it. But I've lugged my 64 around for years in those games. I've got my No Mercy and my file and my saves and all that. WCW. A lot of wrestling. GoldenEye. Turok. Mission Impossible. Shout out. Mario Kart. Mario Golf.
It's developed by Left Field Productions.
Wow.
Yeah.
That oddly makes sense.
Heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's out of left field. All right.
Exactly. Enough of that. Donnie.
Get into the news.
Let's get into the news.
At a happier point last week, I came across this TikTok, and it made me laugh a lot, and I loved it, and I thought you'd appreciate it. So hopefully I was right. Let's find out.
Nobody's sleeping in the middle of the bed. The middle of the bed is only where you do the business. But when everybody's ready to sleep, it's the side of the bed that can't be beat. It's the middle of the bed where lovers meet. But when it comes time to slumber, it's the edges. Ooh, the edges.
That shit's a
Yes.
bop, isn't it? I was like, I need to put this in my ringtone. This
I need more of that.
It's so good.
I need
great.
more of that.
It's engines. I was singing that shit all day when I saw this.
Oh my
great.
God. It reminds me of
Just-
like Flight of the Conchords business time.
Just walking around, just
That
Oh,
bop.
that's good. That was definitely a bop.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right. We got essential games for PlayStation consoles in November. You're getting the excellent Mafia 2 Definitive Edition. Do not
Great
skip
game.
on that one. Add that library. You're getting the not as excellent Dragon Ball The Breakers
Absolutely not.
as trash.
That's not essential.
Very good.
What? I was like, who? Where'd this come from? Why are we doing this? Why is this a thing?
Yeah, it's not great.
Who the hell decided we're gonna make an Extraction or whatever Dragon Ball, like Dead by Daylight Dragon Ball edition? Stop it.
I think it's like I think they were trying to sell that like on Switch like last week on the Prime sale. It was like $1.
Yeah. And they were like, that's still too much.
Yeah,
Just trying to give it away.
shenanigans and nonsense.
And then you're getting Aliens Fireteam Elite. Didn't people like that one?
That's okay.
Okay.
Some people did. This is not a great month.
Hey, you're getting Mafia.
Mafia's great.
Mafia's
Play that one.
jam, man. Awesome.
PS4 game. I just
What? Come on.
nah. Sorry, they can't all be winners, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Speaking of PlayStation, taking the news cycle by storm this week is that layoffs are occurring at Bungie. Do we ever get a final? I haven't touched notes in like, days. Do we ever get a final on how many people were let go?
It's at or around 100 staff, so about 8%.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there you go. About 8% layoffs across the board over at Bungie. According to Bloomberg, they will see delays to Destiny's next expansion, the final shape, as well as a delay to Marathon, Bungie's next game, which was unveiled this year, was supposed to come out in 2024. Bloomberg said it'd be 2025.
Never a release date for this game at all. Like there was never anything mentioned. So
Okay, so he's just saying they thought it was going to come out next year, and now they're probably expecting to be
just
later than that.
an internal delay. Yeah.
Okay.
They still haven't even confirmed Final Shape's delay. Like that's the other thing.
Nope.
Like Bungie hasn't confirmed anything.
Yeah, it's normal. I mean, like I said, we've always done this dance. If you wait for them to tell you, you'll find out last.
I feel like
gonna
they have
tell
what's
you
called This Week in Destiny. They have a blog every Thursday, so I am very curious as to what their blog post is going to be. This Thursday.
Let's see here. Before I read the rest of this, do you want to add anything to the maybe the notable releases, or maybe they're releasing? It seems to be like we've seen some of the positions. It's a bunch of different people, but like maybe you can add context as the Bungie Among Us. You can tell us maybe who some of these people are.
So yeah, they let go of a lot of their publishing stuff, a lot of the publishing people, their community developers. Some of the bigger people that they let go of were there was an artist who had been there who designed the Halo logo, who had been there forever, and it's like very much like core to Bungie. She was let go. You had Michael Salvatore, who was I think that's his name, who is one of the music directors who really makes a lot of the music for Destiny. We know Destiny has amazing music.
Incredible music. I don't even like Destiny, and I have that damn soundtrack. That's how good the music is.
They let Michael Salvatore and another one of the composers that had been doing a lot of the music, they let them go. So now you don't have like the main sound of Destiny, the people who created
that's
that
like the DNA of the game. I mean, that's a big part of the game.
Which is crazy because Marty O'Donnell, who created a lot of the sound for Destiny 1, they let him go in 2014. Like there was a whole blow up about that. And now you've got the other two who continued that. So that, and a lot of community managers that had been there for a while. So they let go of a lot of people. Some people that you knew, some people that you didn't. And the Pete Parsons, the CEO, like one of his remarks was that we kept the people who were important to Destiny 2. So it's just like damn, it felt really bad hearing that. So
That's a
like these are
cold
the
line.
people you need to make D2 or make Destiny. Like you kept the right people, is what he said. We got the right people to keep making D2. So like that just kind of hurts. And apparently a lot of the people who originally were working on Destiny 2 have all moved on to Marathon just after being burnt out on Destiny apparently. So
Yeah. Live
it's
service will do that to you.
interesting. Yeah. And initially, Bungie wanted to have 4 games, and comes from a guy named Azzacross, who had a source at Bungie giving him more information. He's a content creator, creates some really, really good Destiny 2 videos. I really like Azzacross. He's funny, has a lot of good in-depth weapon guides, how to do the raid, all that kind of stuff. And he was saying that initially they had 4 games that they were working on. It was going to be Destiny, a game called Matter, which apparently got canned in 2020, Marathon, and then another one that was in incubation. So they were originally going to have 4 games that they were trying to work on. Looks like one of them is canned. We know one is Matter, one is Marathon, and then Destiny 2. And they've got something that is right now apparently is codenamed Gummy Bear. That is some kind of shooter that they're working on as well, but we'll see. Community is big mad. I guess
Oh yeah.
part of these layoffs was because they missed their goals by 45%, like their actual financials by 45%. Like that's how far off they were. Like all their projections, they're under by 45%, which is a lot. But it's really interesting. Like I'm wondering, like what the heck your projections were. Like that just seems ridiculous if you're missing it by 45% in a live service game where you buy the expansion and the season pass, and then maybe you buy microtransactions.
Yeah.
I think they were counting on a lot of people pre-ordering the final shape, and I don't think a lot of people did. The game doesn't come out till February. It's a digital game. I don't really need to pre-order it. I can wait. I think it's also part of the fact that there's just a lot of really, really, really good games this year. So nobody's really too worried about playing Destiny. Lightfall was a huge miss. A lot of people just didn't like Lightfall or the campaign, but the seasons that have come after have all been really good. But I think that there are just so many other good games that have come out this year. With Lightfall kind of being a miss, it came out of a period where there wasn't a lot of stuff out. So people played through Lightfall and we're just kind of done and have moved on to other games. So I think it's also a timing thing where it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, Final Shape is coming. I'm going to play that. It doesn't come out till February. So I don't need to play Destiny right now because the player base apparently is also at like the worst it's ever been. It's at the lowest it's ever been. And the seasons have been really good, but there's other games that people want to play. Like me, for example, I haven't touched Destiny in I don't know how long because there's just other games that have been really good that I want to play. Like I'll come back to Destiny when there's more seasonal content that interests me. I'm definitely going to come back and play the Final Shape because I want to see how it all turns out. But there's also been a lot of people saying that they have refunded or returned their Final Shape pre-orders, which just makes it even worse. So
the thing that I struggle with when you have a live service game is that, you could be like, okay, revenues are down. Maybe the game is tailing off and you want to get ahead of that cost. But like, does the times where you were above costs and above expectations not matter when the times that you're low?
Yeah.
You know, like when Destiny was booming and selling and everybody was in, isn't that the time that you pad for this time to get you from this time to the next time? Or do you just, we saw our first sign of financial instability. Let's cut costs like immediately.
Yeah.
You know, like the fact that you would just live like quarter by quarter in an environment that takes years to make something is, I mean, that's scary.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I got to wonder like how off the projections were to be under by 45%. Like that's a lot. So it's crazy.
Especially if they're making other games and Marathon, they're pre-pro, and it's like, now it's not the time to get rid of talent.
Yeah, that's the other thing. But I guess a lot of the people who are working on Marathon are people who have stopped working on Destiny. So you're not losing that staff. And they're saying a lot of it was
redundant. Yeah, but when they launch it, if it takes off like Destiny did, then you'll need to staff back up.
Yep, and I'm sure they will. There was also a lot of talk about people being upset that they put a ton of money into buying a new building. So they actually have like a brand new campus, even though Bungie is very big on remote work. So they tout themselves as being like a huge remote work company, but you put all this money into a building as well. So just a lot of weird stuff. You get a lot of people who have worked there who have talked about how a lot of stuff has been mismanaged at the top. So you get a lot of people who have left, who talk about how a lot of the stuff that's being done at the top just really isn't in line with what the actual employees want and the player base. So yeah. It's been an interesting week for anybody who actually follows Bungie.
It's a bummer.
Yeah.
Well, Bungie did join. This is becoming somewhat of a trend, as we know in the earlier Visual Arts, the kind of support studio inside PlayStation. They had cuts. Media Molecule had cuts. We talked about that on the podcast. We have confirmation now from Sony that Connie Booth has left after 25 years, and her team apparently. And they all kind of left. So there seems to be some. And we talked about this. I don't know if the story has actually been
fired
written.
or if she left, right? We don't know what happened there, whether she was fired or
if she was left the reports was that she was fired, I think. But Sony, I think, said that she had left. So we don't know. We don't know for sure. I don't think, but it's abrupt, I guess, is more or less the thing. Mm-hmm. It feels like there's things going on at Sony, like just behind the scenes that they're restructuring, reorging. I mean, it's hard not to think that. Like we're seeing, it's not widespread. It's not doom and gloom or anything like that. I'm not saying the sky is falling, but like it's pretty clear that, I think somebody with the Bungie news, they were like, this didn't come from Sony. And it's like, okay, well, they may not have chosen what's doing, but like it seems like there's a direction clearly coming down. Yeah. And the direction is clean up on the edges where you can. And then like everybody's doing it. Yeah. So like, they may not have chosen who's being let go, but I think Sony had something to do with this.
Maybe. Yeah. That's
kind of hard not to.
That's the overwhelming feeling, even though Bungie is.
There's no evidence to support otherwise. There's no evidence here to suggest that Bungie's acting independently of everything else going on. The timing, the amount, the fact that they're doing it like a time when everybody else is doing it, like there's nothing to support that. I thought that was a weird thing to write. I think what it was like it was written, if I remember, and it's been a minute since I've seen this, and I've had a few days. I thought the sentiment was like, these jobs aren't being let go to be replaced by Sony people.
Yeah,
and I was like, but you centered that in the frame of this isn't Sony's doing. And like those are independently separate statements.
Yeah, but I think it was Pete Parsons, like the CEO, who said that like layoffs had nothing to do with Sony. This was something internally that they had.
I'm not buying that.
And I'm just wondering, like, Sony, what do you
know? If it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's a duck, man.
Is this in reaction to like the Activision thing finally going through? Because I don't understand like why.
Well, so let's talk about that, because I don't think so. I don't think that's what it is. But before we do, somebody posted in the Discord earlier that Paul Tassi reported that several of the folks from Bungie learned about this when their access to the office and/or systems were just revoked. Yeah, they just signed in to go to work and didn't have email anymore, or their key card didn't work at the door. And then, and that wasn't fucked up enough. And I'm not going to lie to you, dude. I've heard about that happening to friends of mine where that is fucked up. It is. Do you have any idea how much of a problem I would make it if I came to work in my damn door card? If they thought that's how they were going to get me? I come from such riffraff and trash from across the wrong side of the tracks. If you were like, let's turn off his key card and then he'll just go away, I'd break the window. Like, oh, you think you're getting rid of me that easy?
It'll just work out itself.
Yeah. That would make it so much worse. Mm-hmm. And if that wasn't worse enough, though, Tassi also reports that employees who had unvested shares in Bungie before the acquisition by PlayStation, that those shares were contingent upon tenure post the merger. And that means if they were let go, that their shares revert back to Bungie and they receive nothing for them. And that is the type of shit that makes people kill people. Like that's what makes people go postal. That's fucked in so many ways. That's not something that like people can just take laying down. They may have been counting on that. They may have put in, their blood, sweat, and tears into Bungie because they had these shares they were hoping to pay off on the back end. You just pull that from underneath them, not even like any compensation for it. Just sorry, you don't get that anymore. Oh man, that'll set people off on a wrong path. That'll really mess with some people's heads.
Yeah.
Yep.
My heart goes out to anybody like that. That's fucked. That's dirty.
It's terrible. Like the way they did that, and having a day off and then getting a text message saying I need you to come into the office for a meeting, or getting there and your key doesn't work is just the absolute worst way to fire somebody. It's awful.
Just own up to
absolutely. It feels heartless. It feels cowardly. It sucks. It really sucks, especially going into the holiday season as well. Like that's another thing where it's also hard to find jobs.
Yeah,
like it's really chicken shit. One of the weirdest things to me, and it kind of blows my mind, is how a lot of the employees who have been laid off are like, dude, they're still gonna make an amazing game. Like, just stick with it.
They love Bungie.
It's crazy.
That's the thing. The Bungie thing is there's a tight knit community, man.
They love what they were working on.
Yeah,
I don't.
They love what they did.
Bungie.
They love the people that supported them. The people that supported them hard. It was a tight knit thing. Man. Okay, so we talked about this, and we were talking about this offline when it was happening, and in the Discord, Dev had said, just people are feeling. I'm feeling. It feels like this is happening all the time. It feels bad. And I agree with it. It has been happening over and over again, but I wanted to maybe provide some context to that because it does feel like this is happening. But at the same time, when I start reading into the stories and stuff, I'm like, I understand the feeling and the sentiment, but I don't think it's necessarily as bad as maybe like some of Delvin shared some of the tweets that were going around from, influencers and stuff saying how terrible the gaming industry is. And I don't think it's all that bad. I'm not trying to defend it. I'm just saying there's like, the sliding scale. I don't think it's terrible. Yeah. So I went through a couple blogs and I tried to pull anything about layoffs this year and just put it in the context of what we're talking about. Just, like let's get it on paper instead of it just, I think more or less what I'm trying to say is I think the sentiment of, God, this feels like it just keeps happening every week is because it is. Every week or every couple weeks, we're getting a new story of layoffs. But the layoffs, I think, are within the margins of what we should, I think, find acceptable. Maybe with the exception of maybe one. I guess the thing that I was struggling with when reading some of those things you guys are sharing is that, like, when you're a business that runs thousands of employees, sometimes you got to cut jobs. Like, you can't ever live in the world where the jobs just don't get cut ever. Like, that's not reality, right? Yeah. So are we just gonna have a fit every time somebody cuts 4%? Like, that doesn't seem like a whole terrible lot, right? Like, that's an allowable amount of cuts.
It just feels like you guys I think it feels like the gaming industry is making so much money that they should be able to.
And I want to address that as well.
That's the thing. It feels like there's just so much money being made there that you should be able to retain your employees.
Yeah.
I think that's the overwhelming.
So let's read some of this and we'll come back to that one. So Unity cut 5% of staff back in January. Microsoft cut 10,000 jobs. That was a headline. Microsoft's cut 10,000 employees. That sucks, right? That's 4%. And it wasn't all Xbox, right? We talked about that at the time. It was like 343. There was some Bethesda, but it was Microsoft. It was across the board, Azure and everything, right? So it came out to 4%. Riot cut 1.5% of jobs. That was about 46 jobs. So a lot of times if the headlines gave me the number, then I tried to find the percentage. If they gave me the percentage, I tried to find the number. I was trying to let's do apples to apples and oranges to oranges. CD Projekt Red cut 9% in July. BioWare laid off 50 people in August. That's about 5 to 7% based on what they've reported as employees, I think, as 2020. So give or take. Striking Distance, the studio that made Callisto, they let off 32 people in August.
Is that their whole staff? Because
I think I was gonna say that's not even a studio no more, is it?
No, it is. Yeah, they stayed open. I remember that. Yeah, they didn't just close. Epic cut 16% of staff in September, and it was about 900 people. Like, that's the one that's like a lot. Like 16%. That's a significant amount. that's a pretty good bit.
I don't even look at the percentages. I look at the just amount of people. Like,
sure. I mean, I'm not trying to dehumanize them. It sucks, right? But like, you gotta again, context. Let's make it relational, right? If you've got 30,000 people and you cut 1,000, like, can we just be like grab pitchforks and be angry, or is it like you got to run a business? I guess more or less what I'm more or less trying to get to the point is I think we've seen worse. We've seen the industry cut entire studio, half of studios, really cut. We've seen this used to be common. Like this used to happen after every project. They'd ship a game and lay off 80% of the staff, and they'd all have to find new jobs. So I think the more of the case that I'm making is I think this is better than that. Again, it sucks to get people's. I'm not trying to it sucks when anybody loses a job. That sucks. We know that. Blizzard's Hearthstone team lost 10 people in September. Embracer shut down Volition and then laid off 26 people at Moondog. Crystal cut back. They said they lost about 10 jobs, and that was a part of the bigger Embracer thing. Team 17 had layoffs to their quality assurance team, but their CEO left. And I wonder how many people feel better if the executives left. Like when things aren't going well and the CEO steps down, people seem to take that better than let's cut the employees that make it.
Yeah, I think because of knowing how much the CEOs make,
you're going to save more money. Like you're going to get more bang for your buck there. You lose one person, you make up all the money back.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is like, man, can we, cut the CEO's salary and go ahead and keep the employees that make the thing?
Yeah. Yeah. The famous Iwata, right? Famous Nintendo thing.
I think it was Iwata, yeah.
Exactly. I feel like that makes so much more sense to me. Like you make so much damn money.
Man of the people.
How about you just cut it and keep the people who actually make the
capitalism?
Thing.
America.
Yeah.
Frontier announced layoffs this month. They're the studio that makes F1 Manager, and then Telltale cut an unknown amount of jobs this month, and we don't know what that means for Wolf Among Us 2 yet, even though they say it's okay. So ultimately, it's a trend. We're seeing contraction across the industry. It seems to be within the margins of, say, 3 to 10%, mostly almost across the board.
Yep.
A lot of these studios, I saw that what you were saying earlier, Dev. Some of those tweets that I saw when I was digging in and Reddit, a lot of people are like, the gaming industry is so popular, they're making so much money, but not all of these studios are making that money. Right. Like we're taking the fruits of others' labors and applying it to these, right? Dude, F1 Manager sucked. It was terrible. Yeah. Right? Like they had to announce cuts. A lot of these jobs, I think, with Callisto, I was gonna say, failed to me. I love Callisto Protocol, but it failed
It didn't sell.
It didn't do anything. The EA studio that had cuts in that game and Mortals of Avium, right? And Forspoken, like these aren't those games. So you can't go, well, Fortnite's huge, so therefore nobody can cut jobs. Or just gaming, because Spider-Man's amazing, so we can't cut jobs over at Microsoft. Like that's not how this works. And that's crazy. Ultimately what I was hoping to maybe let's dig in and let's see if we can't find out what's happening here. Is like,
and it just speaks to the overall like how volatile gaming can be, because if you have one miss, like your studio is at this point is gone. Like
I was really hoping
volatile industry
that some of the movement of these properties into larger corporate maybe would brace for that to stop happening as much. And I don't know if it's working or not yet.
It doesn't feel like it.
Like there's a part of it that says I think it is, because I think if Redfall happened without Xbox, I don't know what Arcane Austin's doing today. Like without Xbox, Bethesda might have been like, you're done.
Yep.
But so far as far as we know, like they're gonna make their neck. They're gonna do another one. Like they're gonna get another crack.
Yeah. And then you think you put all that in perspective and you look at Epic, which you feel like makes all the money in the world.
That's the one. That was the one that I was like, okay, this isn't like the others. This one's kind of egregious.
It's hella egregious.
Yeah.
Like you have Unity. I'm sorry.
You're just giving away. You were literally paying millions to give away games. You could just stop doing that and then save all these people's jobs. So you'd be like, hey, you know what?
Sweeney, take a pay cut.
We're only going to give one free game out every month. That would probably save you enough money to save most of those jobs.
Yeah.
Do you know how much money it costs for them to give away a free game? How much money they're paying developers? It's in the millions. Even on the low end, even like an indie thing, They're giving somebody millions of dollars to give them their content indefinitely.
Just so you can download our launcher and use that to buy
Instead,
games.
so you can use our launcher instead of the other guy's launcher.
People are
like if that isn't if that isn't just like that feels like they're playing with play money. When they're like, we're just going to pay you because we want our own launcher on the platform that already has a launcher. Like you could just do the GOG way. Like you don't even have to do that. Like they're out to make a point. They're spending millions to make a point, and they're cutting 900 jobs. And I just wanted to get, and again, I want to be clear. I hope it's clear. I hope nobody thinks that I think it's okay to cut people's jobs. It sucks. It does. But some of the things that we were seeing, that we were talking about and sharing, I thought were egregious. The worst year in video games, the industry is like, okay, guy, come on, man. Like a company has to be allowed to cut 4% of people if numbers aren't coming through. All right, that's okay. Like they have to do business. That's just life. That has to happen. Now, if they're cutting entire studios or half a studio, like if it's getting like now you start to worry what's going on in the background. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, and I think that's the overwhelming sentiment is it feels like the studios that are like outside of your Callistos where it's like, damn, that sucks, but your game didn't hit. I get that. But when it's like Bungie, you just got bought out by
Bungie. Yeah, Bungie's a little one. But like Media Molecule, I was like, I'm actually sad I'm surprised it didn't happen already.
Yeah. Like that was another one. But it's also like you feel like, okay, you guys should have the backing of the larger company to be able to stay around.
Especially Bungie. They're like they're coaching these other studios and helping them with their lives. They're like they were supposed to be the stewards, right? They were like this like group leader, I guess, if you call them.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, they have created the longest lasting live service game that is actually done well. Like it has its ups and downs, but like live service is not easy. And I wonder how much of like everything we're seeing within Sony is like them realizing, oh, this whole idea of games as a service is not the move. All of these live service games that we're trying to push is not the move. It
seems like the well's a little souring on that a little bit. I don't know if that's like our super gamer ecosystem or not. I don't know. It might be our little echo chamber.
I mean,
but like it feels like less and less people are trying to get on that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like that's what people want to play. Like,
or they definitely. I think maybe a better way of saying is I don't think that's what people want to buy, and that might be the one. Like you can do it, and people will play it. People love Fortnite and Warzone, and I think they're good. Like they're going to keep doing it. People are going to keep doing that.
Those are the ones they want, and when you got the ones
but can you get in there and then get people to pay? And I feel like there's less and less amount of people that like after doing it for years, right? They've done it and they've conditioned. They're like, okay, I'm over. I'm not going to keep putting money into the machine.
Shit,
and that's when you start cutting.
Months.
Yeah.
Like this was fun for a minute.
Ubisoft says maybe the employees' stock options were about to vest and they cut them. I've seen that pulled more than once. Yeah, this might be a long-term cost-cutting move. You eat it now, but you save millions on the back end by not having the vesties and pay these people out. And that might be true. If it is, it sucks. Because if you made this a part, if at any point in time these shares were counted as a compensation to these employees and you give them nothing for it, I mean, I don't know. That sounds like, I don't know. That doesn't sound right. Like, it sounds like you should be getting a lawyer. I'd be so damn mad.
Yeah,
like, can you just do this? I'm sure they can. Yeah. I wouldn't do it if they couldn't, but like, I don't know. That would worry me a great deal. I'd be like, all right, everybody works from home for a little bit. Like, I'd be really concerned.
Yeah,
that's bad. But yeah, and it does suck. And I think the point I was really trying to prove is the reason it sounds so much worse than I think it actually is on paper is the frequency. It's if you look at the bullet points, it's like it's literally every 2 weeks from January, we're getting a story after another story after another story after another story.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it makes it feel. You go back to that word you were using. I think it makes it feel.
Yeah.
Big, grand. It's happening everywhere. We're in trouble, and it's like it's actually a very healthy industry, and everybody's doing good. Just sucks that this is kind of part of it sometimes.
Yeah. It definitely does, and it just like I said, and I think also it has to do with the timing. Like you're going into the holidays, you really want to celebrate game, but all these people just seem to have lost their jobs. It feels like, damn, again, Like
Yeah.
you keep having this.
That's
It's
true.
just that feeling. It makes it hard to want to celebrate and be excited when, especially if you have friends that are in the industry that have lost jobs. And I think that's a lot of what you're seeing, especially if you're on social media. Like it's people who know people who've lost a job, who've been laid off, or have enough close ties to the industry where it's like, well, this sucks. Like I was
Yeah.
excited about Spider-Man, but damn,
Yeah.
John just lost his job, and so did Susie and Sam. They all just got laid off. Like I don't even want to celebrate or be happy anymore. So it's just that overwhelming, like overall feeling of like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Dread.
Mm-hmm.
And the part of me, I would love to talk to some of these people because video games by its very nature is project based. You go from project to project, so it's kind of seasonal, like kind of almost like movies or TV. You know,
A lot of it is contract employees.
yeah, and a lot of them are contractors. So like to some extent, again, not for everybody and not condoning it, but to some extent, I think some of this is to be expected. You ship a new game, it does whatever it does, and then they're probably going to cut back the force and move on to something else.
Especially
if
the game you're working on gets canceled.
It's like movies. Like there's no movie studio that gets a whole cast together, and then when they're not making the movie, after the movie shifts, they all stay together and keep working and make money. Like no, they all disperse and go to do their own thing, right? We don't hear about it in the same way, and I don't know if that's because are people not as connected to like the people that make like those forms of entertainment as the video games, or is it because it's not as long? Because it doesn't take 5 or 6 years of these people doing it.
I think it's
there's definitely a disconnect. They're very similar, but they are not looked at the same way.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both things. Like you look at a movie, it's just one thing, and when it's
and
done,
you can shoot it in like a year.
Everybody goes somewhere else.
Yeah,
do something.
I think it's because it's like it's temporary permanence.
Yeah,
like you're gonna do this for 5 or 6 years, and you're gonna do the next thing. Yeah. But like a movie, you shoot a whole movie in half a year and you're on to the next one. You shoot multiple movies in a year. You be an actor, be on 4 or 5 different movies in a year. So like it's kind of like gig work, I guess. I think it's the duration. Yeah. It gives it a little bit more permanence.
Yeah. It's very different because, like you think about somebody who works at, BioWare or works at Bungie. Like you think they work there. It's not they just worked on this one game and when it's
they
done,
work on the movie.
That's it.
Yeah,
they work at you don't have that same thing, but there are people who like you work on this game, and when this game ships, if we don't have another game for you to work on, then
you gotta go.
You're laid off, or
Ubisoft says hire people, then lay them off. I mean, unfortunately, that's actually what the industry has become. So what we're seeing more and more is that BioWare's and Naughty Dog's a smaller team in house, and then everything becomes contract. You just contract out like 3 for 3. You got your studio, you do your thing, and then you bring on the help, and then at the end of the project, you cut the contract. I think to people like on social media, that's easier to digest, but I don't think that's better. I think it's the same thing, just said in a word salad. It just makes it sound better. Like, it's contractors. Like visual arts, they're contract support. They're not named. They're not Naughty Dog. It makes you feel better about it. It's not Naughty Dog. It's not the thing that I love. It's still the same thing. You're literally you were doing the same thing. You were hiring a bunch of people and then letting them all go. But it's actually, I've been kind of making this case as we've seen all of this, corporate movement with these different IPs and studios. I've been making this case for a little bit. I think it's concerning that that we're depending more on contract and support work. Because talent's getting harder to find, we're seeing more and more of them getting bought out. And I think what that could lead to is more of this. We're kind of almost regressing. We're going back to, we might get to the point where it's like BioWare had to lay off 50% of its people today. Like that. You remember that stuff was happening like 2011 and 2009.
A lot of it.
And that was hurt. Like that hurt to see that stuff. And I feel like if we don't have contract studios and third-party people that you can contract and bring them on to help and support studios and stuff like that, because they're being snapped up and bought out. Like that is a problem. That is like a down. Absolutely. That's a negative reaction to all of this movement, and mergers and acquisitions. So I hope we're not getting there. And I hope, as I always say, if anything, it creates a demand. So if they're getting bought up, you know what that means? It means there's somebody out there that wants to start a new one because there's a market for it. So hopefully these people that have been let go find a place. Yeah. Because of things like that. And I'm sure the Bungie people will have options. I think a lot of people would love to have Bungie staff on their teams.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Some of these other teams, I don't know. I don't know about the Frontier folks.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So no really way to segue out of this. It sucks, and obviously we hope everybody lands somewhere that they really like appreciate. Microsoft announced a restructure at Xbox. Phil Spencer's the president of like gaming, Microsoft Gaming, which I think was his title already. I think they'd already kind of announced that before. But now Sarah Bond is now the president of Xbox.
Yeah.
So she's the first female president of Xbox ever. And she leads up the hardware and software divisions at this point. So like the next iterations of the hardware and stuff like that, I think she'll be the forefront, the spokesperson, which I think she's been groomed to be in that lane for some time now.
Yeah, for a while.
Right. Yeah.
It's really good.
I love Sarah. She's great. So can't wait to see more. Matt Booty's been promoted and will now oversee ZeniMax and Bethesda, even though they continue to operate independently under their own CEO, Jamie Letter. Jamie will report to Matt Booty. So that's like the first change, right? They bought Bethesda and everybody was like, leave Bethesda alone. Give them their autonomy, just like Bungie. Leave them alone. Let them operate independently. Then Redfall happened and they were like, what were you doing? Why didn't you know? Why didn't you help? And now we're seeing the reaction. The reaction is now we have some oversight. So
makes sense.
Yeah, I always thought it did. We have new appointments across the board. There's a whole org chart. I didn't write it all down because here's the thing. I don't know half those people. If I don't know half those people, I don't think anybody else does. Yeah. So they've got new appointments that are on chief of staff, consumer sales, HR, GMs of communications, VP of cloud, enterprise, legal. I'm not going to read you all.
A lot of people moved up.
Yeah, a lot of people moved up. A lot of things are happening.
And this is a good story in contrast to the story that we had earlier in terms of like, people are losing their jobs, but at the same time, on the other side of things, there's people getting promoted and stuff like that. So hopefully that will make more positions be open for more people to take positions.
Yep. Cycle continues. The good thing about video games making money is as long as video games keep making money, they'll keep making jobs.
Yes.
And that's the good thing. The Pulse earbuds for the PlayStation drop December 6th, and the Elite headset drop February 21st. So if you get some new earbuds and new headsets, that's when the dates are coming out.
Which is stupid because they have that link system with the portal. They should have come out the same day as the damn portal.
When does the portal come out?
Why would they
is
do
anybody
that?
Getting that?
No. I think it comes out like the 15th.
November. Yeah.
November. Okay. We got to get somebody that's getting that, and we got to get them on the show.
So now you don't even have a
headset. If you're out there, ladies and gentlemen, get in the portal. We're open to hearing. We want to hear from you. We want somebody to come bring their portal to the show and tell us about it. I've got questions. Sonic Dream Team, a new Sonic 3D game was announced today coming to Apple Arcade.
Yep. My son is very upset about this.
Why?
Because it's mobile. He's like, fuck that.
So get a backbone. Now all of a sudden it's a Switch.
I'm like, I'm proud of you, son. Nah, stand your ground. Say fuck mobile.
Yeah. Nobody wants.
I mean, I would love to be there with you, but like, no, I don't hate on mobile just because it's a phone.
He does.
But here's the thing: I love Apple Arcade. Apple Arcade's awesome. It's Game Pass, but for your phone. It's like indie Game Pass. This Apple, like, it's
put the game on the console where it belongs.
Like, I think what Apple Arcade is doing, I think Apple Arcade like beat Nintendo to the punch. Like, I want Nintendo to do that. I've been saying this. This was one of my great Shaq ideas from like years ago. Like, what did we just do? Shaq 300. I think somewhere in like Shaq 75, you can hear me talk about Nindy's Pass. I think Nintendo should sell a subscription for indie games on their platform that they promote with their indie partners.
I remember that. And
they pick and choose, and it has to be like a limited library. I'm not even talking about a lot, right? They could even rotate out, but I don't think it would matter because I think people would love to give Nintendo $5-10 a month to play Hollow Knight or Golf Story or whatever, like whatever they put in there. I think they should do that. And I've been saying that forever and just promote it. And it's good marketing for the indie developer. I'm sure Nintendo will give them the front end money, but I think it will help Nintendo cultivate like being that space for indie. Here's the thing.
Why the
Apple
hell
Arcade
would I
did
do
that. And now they become the space to go to. A lot of indie games go to Apple Arcade first before even console. Oceanhorn, first iOS. This damn Sonic game, first iOS. Like, they get a lot of these. And I don't know why, but in my mind, Why isn't Nintendo doing that? They should be first. Like if I was Nintendo, I'm like fuck them.
Doesn't care about games that aren't made by Nintendo. Why would I want to pay?
That's
why
not
would
true.
I
That's
want to
not
even
true at
bring
all.
in the indie people?
No. You are
Nintendo
off.
online
You're off
and
base,
make you
man.
keep buying the same Nintendo game that you bought on
Right.
the NES 20 years ago.
No, they already do that. They have NSO. They already
my
have the
point.
subscription. But that's my point. You're off. Nintendo does they're actually the last people that are seriously highlighting select indie games.
Yeah. Hollow
They
Knight.
do it all the time. Like their E3 show was headlined by an indie game.
But then I don't have to actually pay to get it into some pass. You just pay regular price for it.
Here's the thing, dude. The indie devs love working with them. They'd be happy to do it. It's easy marketing. Because here's the thing. There'd be a bunch of people out there that wouldn't subscribe that would buy the game anyway. It's just, it's good marketing. It's not really about the economics. It's not about the dollars and cents. They just do it anyway.
I feel like Nintendo just doesn't care. Like,
They do. They do.
don't care.
They can.
Dude, at the last, I don't want to say the last E3 because I don't remember like E3 between not E3 and all that. But like the first Switch one, like the big one, Reggie was there, and in the backdrop was Golf Story and Hollow Knight. Like they care. It's a big deal. They promote them and they give them placement. And I think an Indies Pass just is easy. It's easy money. Easy money. They could just think about it. They could get like one or two big indie games a year and then pad it out with like small indie games that nobody cares. And people would subscribe and not think twice about subscribing. Be happy
And
to subscribe.
that's just not Nintendo.
Why?
Because it's not. It hasn't never
Why?
been. I don't think it ever will be. You tell me, Nintendo guy. That's just not what they do.
But
Like,
what is
no.
it? What is it about that they don't do that you think they couldn't?
I no. It's not that they couldn't. I don't think they couldn't. I just
Because you're
don't
talking
think
when
they
you say
want.
it's not Nintendo, the thing that I'm going to, because you're just saying it's not, and you're not telling me why it's not. Let me tell you why it is, right? Because they did Virtual Console, because they have DS Selects, because they have 3DS Indies, because they've done this before. Like they've been doing this for a long time. Because The Boy and His
they have
Blob
Nintendo
was
Online.
like the place to go. Yeah, and they could make it a part of NSO, but I don't think they have to. It's kind of like they kind of do. Here's the thing: they kind of already do it. Kind of. If you are a Nintendo subscriber, you get free game trials. You can play games for like weeks for free. It's kind of that. It's like kind of that. I just want them to like take that idea and just go a little bit further with it and like make it a thing.
But they don't ever do that. Like that's
Look
the
at
thing.
my
It's
man
like
Danny.
they
He's here. Horizon
do
Chase
just
2
enough.
came first to iOS. See, that's when you
the
let
fuck
that go on.
cares?
I care. When you let that go on for a long time, right? That sort of game becomes synonymous with that platform.
That is
And
true.
I think Nintendo, because they compete in the mobile space, they have a lot of mobile developers that help their system, their platform. I think Nintendo should be that space, that mind space. They should be first. They should be thinking that way. They should be leading that market, not in the market. They should be the leader.
I think Horizon Chase Turbo should only keep its sullied crap on iOS and never
Just
come
stop.
anywhere else.
Just stop.
Just
Dev.
They're seeding. They're seeding
we-
They're seeding a space they don't have to seed. Right? They could have Devolver. They could be the Death's Door, Hollow Knight, Golf Story, SteamWorld Dig, Horizon Chase. Oh, this is easy. I'm telling you, this is easy money. This is super easy.
It is.
Not even hard. Not even expensive. And you're like, they can't do this. Doesn't make sense. It's not for them. It's like, dude,
again,
come on.
It's not can't. It's never about can't. It just doesn't never seem like anything Nintendo wants to do. Nintendo just like does their
Well,
own things.
okay.
Like,
So
we're
here's
good.
what I'll tell you: is Nintendo never did cross-buy either, until they needed it, and then they did.
Do they need this?
No, not now. But here's the thing: no, not now. But when the Switch launched, when I came up with this idea and was arguing for it back then, did they need it? Yeah, they did. Because back
Did
then
they? 'Cause
the
I
Switch,
think the Switch is doing just fine.
right? But back then it hadn't yet, and they were coming off this terrible console, and there are a lot of people that are on the fence about it. Honestly, I could tell you if Breath of the Wild never comes out, we may have a completely different story about what the Switch ends up being.
That is true.
Maybe.
Right? So, like,
Maybe.
put myself in my mindset. I was thinking of ideas. That's why. But ultimately, I just think it's for the prestige. I think they should be the first place for a lot of these indie standouts. You know, Streets of Rage, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, when you think about those sorts of games, I would be like, but you think Nintendo. And now
No,
I think
I
a lot of people
don't.
are thinking Apple and they're thinking Netflix with these sorts of games. It's like, stop. I would, if I was Nintendo, I'd be wanting to put it into
this. They should just be console games. Stop this.
Well, here's the thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're not even console games. They're coming to Apple Arcade 6 months before they even come to console.
Not my Streets of Rage. Not my Ninja Turtles.
The Hot Shots golf game from Everybody's Golf. The one that came to consoles. They came to Apple Arcade first, like a year.
I wish it didn't come
first.
To consoles.
I know.
We don't need that. We don't.
I'm sorry that I don't have the perfect example to make you feel better, but I feel strongly that I'm on the right side of this argument, like sternly. This makes sense.
It's null and void. It doesn't really.
No,
matter.
it makes sense. This is good. They should do it because it's easy.
It's not gonna happen.
It's easy to do.
It's not gonna happen.
Easy money. I'd be going on it, and like they're like even when they're not losing it. Let's say if they're not even losing Apple Arcade. They're losing the Game Pass. You know, what was the last one that just came out? Hang on, what was that game? Sea of Stars, right? It's a Nintendo game. It's only on Nintendo, and then what? PlayStation Plus, Game Pass, day one on Game Pass, dude. If I was Nintendo, I'd be furious. You got to stop doing that. Either lock it down exclusivity or give them another reason to play it on Nintendo. Yeah. I would want those games because that's the thing. They don't get third-party ports. And they're not getting Call of Duty. They're not getting Madden. They're not getting the biggest third-party games in the industry. So, like, if I was at Nintendo, I'd be like, we've got to get the low ones, though. Okay? We're not getting Star Wars. Then we've got to get Sea of Stars. Right? Like, if you're not going to operate up here, then you got to be a killer down here. And, to your point, Dev, Nintendo's doing Nintendo. They don't care. But if I was working at Nintendo, I'd be like, but I care. We're going to do this. We're going to own this space. If you're making a retro indie game, it's coming here first. Like, it's ours. We're not going to let anybody get in on this. It's ours. Yeah. Ubisoft puts up a point. They just look at Hades. Look at Hades and look at what Nintendo did for Hades when they got full exclusivity. Hades blew up. Imagine if they did that with an indie game every month. I'm telling you, this makes money for everybody. Everybody should be on board with this.
Was a Nintendo game originally? Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. I've always thought this is a good idea.
That's fine. Again, not saying it's not a good idea. Not saying it wouldn't work. Just saying I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I would want to be that space. I'd want to own those indie games. And I would mark it up too. Be like, hey, why don't you have Madden? Why don't you have we don't need them? You know why? Because we have Firewatch. Because we've got Edith Finch. We've got Gone Home. That's why. God, we've got amazing games.
Further away from Nintendo.
You know? How dare you?
Burn my Switch.
How dare you? Call of Duty campaign access drops tomorrow. I don't know if I'll play tomorrow, but I'll definitely play this weekend.
Oh yeah, it is tomorrow.
Yeah. Early access. Periodically, as things come available, I've been talking to you about the journeys of one Shinji Mikami and Hideki Kamiya. And, I kept talking about the idea of them working together again. I don't think there's any evidence here. There's nothing to really connect these dots, but they're both free agents at kind of the same time. And there is a past there and there's a lot of parallels. Well, now there's a little evidence. There's I think it's like a con, what we would call a con, but there's a festival in Japan, like a pop culture festival. And they are hosting a panel together. Just them, just the two of them. And apparently they're supposed to provide an update on what their futures look like.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. What are they doing? Do they have I don't think they're going to come out and be like, this is what our plan is, because they're still under NDA. But they may be like, we're working on a partnership together or something. I could see something like that happening. But we'll see. They also might be like, we're never going to talk to each other. I don't know. But this is the first sign that they might be getting the band back together. That's very exciting.
They're like, we're never going to talk to
each
other.
This
get after this cocksucker right here.
That'd be hilarious. Starfield's getting DLSS next week with the Steam beta update.
I thought it already had that.
I don't know. I just saw it before we started the show.
There you go.
I don't have any new rumors because, like I said, I haven't done a whole lot of stuff. Rude Days didn't send anything in, so I just pulled some scores just to go over them. So RoboCop got a 74, WarioWare got a 75, Jusant got an 86.
Wow.
I played that demo and hated it.
Climbing simulator.
Yeah, I wasn't interested. So just goes to show how much or little reviews may mean to you. I hate to judge a book by its cover, but that's one I'm definitely judging. But I'm never playing that again. They gave me a perfect hundreds. I'm like, absolutely not. No, not even a little bit. Star Ocean, which I liked a lot. I played the demo of it and I enjoyed it. I got 78. I think the game is gorgeous. That is a really, really pretty game. And then I put this in here so you guys have some laughs. Return to Moria, the latest Lord of the Rings games, Metacritic, 58.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Return to Moria and promptly leave.
The user score, though, is almost 80, 79.
Oh, so it's like Five Nights at Freddy. A lot of people lying.
Like
What's that?
everything that Rotten Tomatoes ever does.
Yeah, like it's like Five
The
Nights at
critics
Freddy.
hate it, the people love it.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how Five Nights at Freddy's is going down?
Yeah, the critics
Yeah.
scores like 42 or something like that, and the
Critics is like 85.
the fans
Yeah, there's
score
a
like
couple
89.
friends of mine
85.
on Facebook that were like, I love the movie. It's great for kids and all that. I was like, oh, that's neat.
Great
Cool.
for kids. Fuck.
Yeah, they said it. Like one of
No,
my
that
friends.
is literally who's going to see it. Kids love Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, one of my friends
Weird
pinned like a
thing.
whole review on her Facebook, which is that's a whole story in itself. I was scrolling and I was like, why am I reading a blog from you on a movie review?
Movies. Awful.
Like they make sites for this. Take this shit to Metacritic. Like, what is this here? Anyway, that's here to there. She wrote like a whole review, broke it like literally a review, broke it into segment like IGN. Like she had it, she was
Wow.
doing the thing. And like her big thing was this is a great movie to like introduce your kids to horror with and stuff like that. That was her thing. Oh, you don't agree?
It's not.
Did you
I'm
see
here
it,
for it.
Delvin?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it on
Of
opening
course
night.
you did.
Is it good?
course
You love
you
it?
No, it's fucking terrible.
Oh, he's the critic. This
It's
movie
awful.
fucking sucks.
It's terrible.
Do you like Five Nights at Freddy's? Is this a
No,
thing
my
you follow?
son likes Five Nights at Freddy.
Did he like the movie?
No, he didn't like it either.
Interesting.
The only one who liked it was my daughter. She thought it was good. Me and my son did not
I don't
like
know
it.
anything about it. I don't really give a shit. It's whatever.
That's just
I
death.
will
We could
say-
we could just splice
We
that.
can name
and-
anything.
Honestly, we could run a whole show with you. With just you don't even have to be here. We just keep playing that on the soundboard.
I don't know anything about it.
I don't give a
I don't know
shit.
what that
true.
is. yeah.
It's
I
like
will
Death
say
AI.
that while you're aware with a 75, I believe Donnie and I score points.
Oh yeah, I never
you
remember.
go.
Where did we score
I
that?
think we took.
I know
the
I
under,
lost
and
the
think
point
Delvin
to you
took
guys on
over.
the Moria one. I lose lots of points.
Oh damn!
I knew that was
What
going to be
is
no damn. Was he said 85? I was like, there's no way in hell it's going to be 80 and 85. That's ridiculous. I honestly thought it'd hover around like low 70s, high 60s. 50 seems harsh.
50 seems real. It's
I
realistic
don't
for
think
what
so.
that game is.
I really like it. I can't wait to get it. With some time, but I'm interested to hear more of, I guess, my friends that play games like that, and I want to see what them get on it and see what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I do think it's kind of like early access, like they might be, pushing out a little early. And I'm wondering, just like Valheim, I'm wondering what a year of updates and something like this does to a game like this.
Probably
Right?
gonna
They
be a
get
hidden gem.
They do like an expansion, and all of a sudden, 4 years passes, and we're talking like 1 million people are playing more, some shit like that,
Probably be a game one like years down the line. Like, oh, that game was actually pretty decent.
Or in 3 months we get that blog post about how half the studios have been
It's
laid off
shutting
and the
down.
servers are shut down.
we're gonna get that too. That's
I don't think it's going to happen. And that was the news.
Can't wait to hear Rob's love of Return to Moria. You guys can go all happy about it.
I don't think he's interested. He doesn't seem to be all
He
that.
liked
into it.
Valheim.
Yeah, I
He loves his
know,
little
but I don't think
sequences
maybe
in
it's the
there.
Lord of the Rings part. Because I remember I messaged him when I was on the beta test, and I was like, "Hey, I just want you to know I'm testing it, and I'm having a blast." And he was like, "Oh, that's cool," but like I don't, and I maybe even speaking or misremembering, but I just didn't get the sense that he was like, "I'm interested. I want to play it though."
We'll see. Or we
Yeah.
won't.
Lord of the Rings not for everybody. I get it. It's pretty geeky. It's not like Vikings. It's not as cool.
And the thing is, nothing about this game makes me even think Lord of the Rings. Like, yeah, I get it. It's set in a place that's in Lord of the Rings, but
Oh
it
no,
just
it's
doesn't
not.
feel
That's
like
the
Lord
thing,
of the
though.
Rings.
I mean, that's the reason that I think I'm so high on it. There is a shit ton of Lord of the Rings fan service and lore in it, like a lot.
Yeah, that sounds like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. The funny thing I was reading some of the user scores, and some of the people review bombing it were upset. They're like, I played this game for 30 hours and I didn't have a Balrog. And it's like, yeah, because
Balrog's gone. Gandalf killed it.
Exactly.
Dumbasses.
Because the Balrogs don't live there, dude. Gandalf took that mother to 8th level of hell.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. That's what people want when they think of Lord of the Rings. They don't want
the movie.
Fucking Minecraft.
That's the
They want
funniest thing
movie.
is
They
it's
want
set
the books.
after the
Yeah,
movies, and
way
they tell
after
you, and people are
We're
like, "Where
going
is
back.
everybody?
Yeah,
You know, they're like,
Balrog is
where's
gone.
Aragorn?
We're returning to Moria. Like that's the whole thing.
Yeah,
They're
it's
like, we
pretty
don't
funny.
want this. Like,
It's
no,
hilarious.
We want to be back where everything bad is happening.
They should do it though.
Yeah.
They should just have like a Balrog DLC. Like make people try. Like, okay, you want one? We're gonna give you dragon. You can fight. It'd be $3.99.
It's the Balrog prequel. This is the prequel to that. You get to live out the epic battle of Gandalf and the Balrog.
Yeah, it's Balrog's cousin. Vega.
Nonsense.
Yeah, pretty funny.
All right, question time. Tara wants to know, what is something that you want game devs to be more considerate of? For example, I was talking to my sister about a ton about how games now require internet connection and extra funds, DLC, etc., to get the full gaming experience. And that is not always the jam, you know? So is there anything that you want game devs to be more considerate of in this new gaming landscape? I mean, I hear lots of talk about how we never get the full game anymore. It used to all come on the cartridge, and you got the full game that you paid for now, and everything is
but
DLC
sometimes those
and
full
unfinished
games sucked, and they sucked forever.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to bring that part up. Some of those shit was broke. Y'all need to go play some Haunted Mansion and shit. You can play some of these Atari games Delvin's been showing me. This is terrible.
It is. I did appreciate Spider-Man being like, I think it was Spider-Man did it. Like, hey, the game is done. What's on the disc is what you play. There's no patches needed, no nothing. What you put it in, you ain't open no day one patch. It's the game is ready. I kind of dig that.
Yeah,
I see more companies like, hey, you don't have to worry about it. No day one update. The game is going to work like it should work, whether you have it a disc version or a digital version. It's going to be just there.
Yeah.
But even they said there is a day one patch that'll make the game run better.
Oh, I thought you said there wasn't a patch. There is a patch.
There was a day one patch.
But
they said for all of our disc owners, if you don't have the day one patch, the game
everything
is
Delvin just said
it'll
now
run.
is refocus.
However,
Wait a minute.
we would appreciate if you download the day one patch, it'll make your experience better.
Yeah,
but
but the game worked without the patch.
That's all of them. I mean, Assassin's Creed Unity
that is not
worked.
all of them. That is definitely not all of them.
Unity worked. The whole game was on the disc. You might be
I gotta side with Dev here. Like, I don't think there's been a game that just didn't work.
Right.
That would be a whole separate thing. You put the game in, it's like you can't play it unless you patch it.
Like that's the thing. Like you can play the game on the disc. It's all there except for, Call of Duty. That's a download. But otherwise, you get the disc, you plug it in. You can play it without downloading a day one patch. It just is not going to be in its best shape.
It's just not going to be as good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really bothered by that.
Me either.
Or the internet connection. It's just modern times.
Me either. I'm also not bothered by DLC because a lot of times it's stuff that they wish they could have gotten the game, but they couldn't. It's not always like we cut out this part of the game. Like I
appreciate that we live in a world where things can be patched and improved upon. And I appreciate that they put in the work to do that.
Same. I do think that sometimes the internet connection thing, if it's not a game that needs to actually talk to anything, like it shouldn't require a network connection.
Or at least give you. The other thing is like the constant internet connection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you want to handshake and check in, fine.
Sure.
Like once I'm in, man, leave me alone. Let me play the damn game.
Right.
I bought the game. Let me play the game.
Yeah.
Especially if it's single player. If you're network, if you're online multiplayer, then sure.
Yeah.
But like, come on.
If there's no multiplayer in this game whatsoever, there should be no reason for me to have to connect to the internet. I mean, if it's a single player game, let me cheat. Who cares?
Maybe there's like currency involved, like Diablo, or even if there's not currency, like maybe it's like a backup issue. Maybe like they're doing cloud saves or something. They want to make sure that they can account for you, so you don't get mad at them if they lose something. I could see that. I mean, there are technical reasons for you to be connected, even in a single player.
There is, but then that's a game that also has online components. Like Diablo has a whole online component, so that I understand.
You're right.
But if it's something that like Spider-Man requiring an always online connection, why? There's
What's that other
absolutely
game that
no
did
reason.
that we were talking about? was Redfall.
But again,
Yeah,
Redfall had
always
an
online, and they said they were
component.
going to try to change it, and I don't think they ever did they?
I don't think they ever did, but I can understand Redfall requiring an online component because there are online aspects of that game.
Yeah.
So I get that. You should allow for an offline mode, but it constantly needing to check in or needing an internet connection because you can have the drop in, drop out. I get it. That doesn't bother me so much. But it's the single player games that seemingly have absolutely no reason to need to be online.
This feels more of like I'm less I'm annoyed by this and more of I'm yearning for the way things used to be. But like I said, but we're not remembering the downsides of the things used to be. Sometimes they would just ship broken ass games.
Yep.
And that was it.
Yeah.
LJN.
That is it. It never got better. There was no Cyberpunk moment for that game. The game just definitely sucked.
That was kind of the fun of it, though. Like, hey, you didn't know what you
was
got.
it?
Yeah, it was.
I don't find like broken games or plugs
I
and glitches. Like you can just never get past this level because the game breaks.
Because you would go out there and you would have to go by word of mouth if a game was good or not. If the game wasn't good, you just fucking didn't buy it. Like that's what the game pros were for back then.
People do that now.
Yeah, but it was a little bit more intricate then. Like, hey, you bought a Game Pro or what was that?
I don't know. I feel like reviews and that stuff matters more now than it ever has.
I don't know.
I mean, Delvin on his podcast is like, I don't have time to play sevens. Like that's a thing we do now. We say things like that. I never heard that when I was younger.
No, yeah, like, I definitely used to review.
Same. If I got a Game Pro and it didn't have like really good reviews, I was like, damn.
Oh, you weren't even interested?
I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't get it.
Won't rent this.
I never did that when I was little. I
lived to die by the Game Pros back then.
Oh,
like
wow.
if they said if they said the game wasn't good, I was like, I guess I'm not getting that.
You're just not getting it
because you only have $50 to get the game. So it's like,
I felt like more then.
Well,
I was just reading someone's opinion. You know, I was like, oh, this is just the guy in the magazine. He just didn't like it. Okay. You know, but now I feel like review culture, like when a big game drops, we got people, they make art about it. They war over like what this score got versus another game. Like I feel like review culture is huge.
I feel like we had that the same thing with the EGMs because again, it wouldn't just be one person reviewing it. A lot of times it'd be a panel of people reviewing it, all giving their individual scores.
I never had.
And you'd also have like individual takes. So yeah, you can see like that was always the really interesting stuff where you'd get somebody who rated the game a 2 or a 3, and then you had somebody who gave it a 5, all in the same review. So that was always interesting.
Yeah, my thing was like Game Informer. I never had EGM.
If anything,
what we had.
If anything, I'm more cynical about game review scores now than I was back then.
Same.
Now I'm like, I see the review. I don't give a fuck what you rate. I don't care about your review.
Well, that's why. Well, see, that's why.
We also had Blockbuster. Like we could just go rent it for a couple of bucks versus having to pay $70.
Good point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's why I hate hearing that. Like you'll hear studios like, all right, the studio's bonuses are tied to this game scoring a 92 on Metacritic. I'm like, why are you leaving this shit up to arbitrary things like this?
Yeah, I agree.
Your success metrics should be revenue based only.
Yeah.
Did your game sell and make money? That is ultimately the prize, guys.
I think the problem with that is a lot of the sales end up being based on how well the Metacritic scores we have.
And if you want to go down that route, then I would be like, okay, then how about you just give everybody a bonus every time anybody gives it a score over 8 instead of the totality. The totality,
exactly.
You know,
I 1,000%.
It's like, are there anybody out there that really like our game? They gave it a 9. Everybody gets $100. Oh, they gave it a 4. Fuck those guys. This guy gave it a 9. Here's another $100. You're like, why do we gotta go like all or nothing? Well, I guess nobody gets Christmas bonus this year because this person, you know,
this IGN fucked it up for everybody.
Well, it doesn't have to be an IGN. It'd be just some blogs. This blog of this YouTuber didn't like our game. Like,
yeah,
you know, if I was like, if I'm sitting there listening to these decisions, I'm like, really? Yeah. Is this the best way to measure our performance?
We almost got an 8.
That's the end-all be-all. Come on, we can do that.
But
that always felt a little.
Gave us a 7, so we're not trivial. There. It is. It's stupid.
I hated seeing that, and I'm like, I get the sentiment. You want to make a game that scores good. I get that. Yeah, but like, don't tie people's bonuses to it. Yeah. That's a little rough.
Yeah.
Like, damn, man, you're giving a lot of power to people that had nothing to do with the game.
Yeah.
That's all. That's a lot of power.
Mhm.
Like
It's too much
I don't know
power.
about that.
Well,
Maybe
they
if
don't
you have
wanna
like
go
an
first.
outlet that you work with, that they like your stuff generally, like, okay, how about this? You're a gamer has liked our last 4 games. Give everybody $1,000 if you're a gamer likes their next one.
Yep.
All right.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
Well,
Sounds good. Do we have any others? I don't think we even answered a question. I don't know if I really have one.
I don't really have anything that I can think about that.
I think it's like the quality of life things. I think like the font, save states. Alan Wake, that's another thing about Alan Wake is it's got some funky save periods. Like it saves like in between chapters and you can kind of save, but like I can't just save the game. I can't just go into the menu and save the game when I want to get out.
Oh no!
So like the other day I
Old
played the game
school save
like
points?
30 minutes more than I wanted to because I was like, I don't know if I quit right now and load back. I don't know where I'm going to be. I don't know how much I'm going to lose.
Oh,
I don't
it's
like
got a
that.
checkpoint system that sucks.
Like we've moved
That's not
on.
fun.
Like this is
Yeah.
that's kind of like I want all the quality of life improvements all the time. I want to be able to. I don't want to tap to run. I don't want to smash on my controller as least amount as possible. I like studios that let you option out of QuickTime events. Never been my favorite thing.
yeah.
And
Oh,
let me
you'll love the new
squeeze something.
Spider-Man because you can just you can turn it. There's an option to just auto complete all quick time events.
Yeah, I've never liked those. Like I do it like once or like if it's a cutscene to do it once, but like when you make it a game mechanic, I'm over it. You give me the same QuickTime event 3 times, we have a problem. I'm no longer a fan. It's like we've done this,
I like I dig that like games like Tomb Raider. Like, hey, we know you don't like puzzles. You want to just skip this puzzle? We'll solve it for you. Give me that. like I don't.
Oh, really? No, I like that. I don't want to do the puzzles.
Yeah,
But I mean, I like
yeah,
the
puzzles.
option not to. I don't mind it.
like
Like I
hey,
said, I'm all for all the quality of life stuff.
So basically, we want more accessibility options. That's
Yeah,
what it
sure.
boils down to.
accessibility is always awesome.
What is it? Last of Us? Didn't they let you like just pick up everything in like one command? You just auto pick all of it up.
Yeah,
Because we used to have to you grabbing
Grab
like,
everything. Yeah.
like 8 hands. I'm like, come on, man. I'm here at the damn thing. Like, just put it in the backpack. Let's get it going.
keep it moving.
My biggest one is Bethesda. I have the biggest dumb gripe with Bethesda games. A lot of their games rely on like a cursor as like your focal point, right? Like you put your cursor on the door to open it, right? And it's really like sensitive and finite. Like you've got to fucking put the cursor like on the door. Like
Yes.
look at the door and I'm like, dude, come on. I'm at the door. You're telling me to go through. It's clear I'm trying to go through the door.
No
Like,
one opens a
I
door
gotta-
like that.
I gotta put it right on this. There
No
have been so
one-
many times in Bethesda games I've had to like adjust myself to get just right to pick up the thing. I'm like, let's go,
So,
man.
Can we just have some space-based context? If I am close enough to the door, allow me to open the motherfucker.
I know it's so dumb, but every time I play a Bethesda game, I'm like, oh god, not this again.
Since you mentioned it, I'm kind of over the encumbered thing. Just stop doing
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
why is anybody doing
that.
that anymore?
Why is it, stop doing that? Like we
You've carried too much. If you're not playing a survival game, that shouldn't matter.
Yes.
If you're playing a survival game, I get it. That's the whole game.
Yeah.
Like that's the point. But if you're not playing a survival game, get out of here with this.
You have too many 0.5 ounce boxes.
Especially if they're like you've got 12 guns in your pack, but you can't
Right.
carry this extra apple. It's like, motherfucker,
Yeah.
come on.
If you're
There is
gonna
a
let me pick
car in
everything
here.
up, if I can pick everything up, I shouldn't have
Yeah.
to worry about being encumbered. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. That one, I like that one a lot.
Yeah. Encumbered stupid.
It is. It's dumb.
So
Don't do that.
annoying.
You're encumbered.
I was gonna say something.
Oh Lord.
You
Haley
use
says-
12 guns and a 20-foot ladder. An elephant.
And an elephant. Good to go.
Goddamn right.
Running
That's how it feels like sometime. And then you come across like, oh, you can't carry that though. Why?
Yeah.
If I can reach in my pocket and like present a bazooka, I should be able to carry anything that I want.
Yes.
Right.
Get out of here.
Can't carry this pencil though. It makes you overweight.
Yeah.
You're too fat.
One too many. Nonsense. Haley says it's not a lake, it's an ocean. What's your favorite movies to watch in November?
The fuck does that mean? I think it's an Alan Wake reference.
Yeah.
I was hoping maybe one of you two might know because I have no idea.
I don't. I like Alan Wake, but I don't claim to know Alan Wake. Like Haley knows Alan Wake. I'm not in it like that.
She met him. They had coffee or something together.
I mean, she just knows everything. I think she give you like words and stuff. Is that like from the ending or something? I think.
Yeah, something like
But I'm
that.
not sure.
I'm
not sure. I don't remember. Yeah, it's been a long time. I didn't finish the remaster. I played like half of it. So like I'm like, you know, I'm kind of like lukewarm with Alan Wake. Like I like it, I do, but I'm not like. I think of when I said in Discord, I think I put it best. I like Dead Space with Alan Wake. It's cool, you know. Like I'm not like Resident Evil about it, but it's cool, you know.
Yeah,
I can fuck around with Alan Wake for a little bit, but.
So yeah, favorite movies to watch in November.
Does anybody watch specific movies in November?
My wife does.
Oh yeah,
Home Alone probably.
Mm-hmm.
That's
What?
one.
It's a
November.
Christmas
Home
movie.
Alone is December.
I watch Home Alone in November. November, December.
What?
Yeah, we
You're
don't- we
way
don't start
out
the
ahead
December-
of time. That's
Yeah,
so
we
early.
don't start like the Christmas movies until December. We watch all the Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Like I would do. What are Thanksgiving movies?
Movies. So Home for the Holidays is one that she
Not watching
watches.
that.
I don't
It's
know
a
what that
Robert.
is.
It's like Robert Downey Jr. and some other people in it.
Huh.
She watches like all the Friends Thanksgiving episodes. She'll
Oh,
watch.
we're gonna do
the
this again. This is
Roseanne.
2 weeks in a row.
Absolutely not. Nope.
Yeah, that's what
First
she
Rebecca,
does.
now Dev. Oh, God.
It's not me. It's my wife. She watches that stuff. Like those
Rest
are
in
her
peace,
things.
Chandler and all that, but Friends isn't that great.
Look,
I didn't say. I don't even. know
I'll
that.
say it.
Yeah, but she watches like Thanksgiving episodes of stuff, and then
Of
Home for the
shows.
Holidays.
I can get with that. I like the Thanksgiving
one more
shows like
movie.
Modern Family and stuff. Okay.
I'm not doing the Thanksgiving episode.
Simpsons.
Simpsons.
Oh
Good.
yeah, we watched
Family
all the,
Guy.
Treehouse of Horrors. We-
Yeah.
went
I
through
can
all
get
of
down
those.
with like some of those themed shows.
Just trying to
I don't
think, is
really
there
think
any
of like
other-
Thanksgiving movies.
Yeah, I think the only one I can think of right now is Home for the Holidays. Like that is her November movie for sure.
Nah.
But as far as I'm concerned, no.
Winnie the Pooh Thanksgiving.
No. Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm looking up best Thanksgiving movies. Rocky.
That's a Thanksgiving movie.
That's what I was thinking.
Peanuts
Is it?
Thanksgiving I watch.
Is it?
Yeah, we watch all the Peanuts stuff. We watch that for every season.
Yeah.
So we
Planes,
just watched-
Trains, and Automobiles. That sounds right.
No, I'm not watching that.
Never seen that.
My wife loves that movie. I
It's a
told
good
her
movie.
I was like, it's okay. She's like, it's the best. Calm down there.
Never seen it.
It's not that great.
Throw Mama from the Train.
These are not as good as like Christmas movies. I don't
Yeah,
know,
that's what I'm
have
saying.
these-
Why would I watch it? Yeah.
Scent of a Woman. Pieces of April. Look, oh shit, Mistress America. And what are people doing on Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Damn, these are in the top 10.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the Santa Claus with Tim Allen. How is that on here?
Why?
nobody-
you
Oh,
watching that?
Adam's Family. Yeah, that works.
Adam's Family's good. Okay.
Yeah.
That's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, did
I
they
think-
go to the camp and all that shit at
I
Thanksgiving?
think that does
Yeah.
happen during Thanksgiving. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is happening.
Is that
Thanksgiving.
part
So
two?
I don't know.
I think it was
I
part
think
one.
the camp
I
is
clicked
part
off
two.
of it because it's got so many movies about infidelity. I was like, this list can't be that good.
Yes, lot of fucking going on Thanksgiving.
People are really thankful on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, a lot of
Thankful
cheap.
for their mistresses.
Yeah.
Thankful for their extras and side
Live it-
pieces. People are thankful for sides on Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Jesus.
whole bunch of legs and thighs. Yeah,
We got there, Delvin. We got there. This list gives us Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Grumpy Old Men,
I think that still holds up.
Free
That's one of
Birds.
those.
The Freebirds, the WCW wrestlers.
Nope. The Academy Award-winning producer from Shrek presents Freebirds, starring Owen Wilson, Woody Harrelson, and Amy Poehler. It's a
Nope.
cartoon turkey movie.
Not watching that.
I know how much you guys love the cartoons.
Nah, not on
Speaking of
Not that
cartoons, you
one.
guys watch that damn crazy-ass Ubisoft show on Netflix?
Mm-mm.
No.
I watched 3 episodes. This shit is off the rails. It is wild. It is bizarre.
The
Damn Rayman singing it. Like, what is going on? This is a damn acid trip.
Okay.
Home for the Holidays is number 4. So this list already seems
that's
like
my
it has
wife's movie.
more.
that's my wife's movie. Yeah.
Okay, Dutch.
That's got what Bruce Willis in it.
That's the Ed
In
O'Neill
this
movie,
road comedy written by John Hughes. Wow, I didn't know this. Ed O'Neill is tasked
See?
with picking
I
up his
remember.
girlfriend's jerky son from boarding school and bringing him home for Thanksgiving. A series of illegal and unethical hijinks ensue.
It's a fun, dumb movie.
Okay. Pieces of April,
Don't know what that is.
starring a young Katie Holmes. She's just a quirky club kid living in New York City.
This is why I watch Home Alone in November.
Yeah, and
It's got nothing to
you're
do
starting
with
to come through
Thanksgiving.
here. It's like, you know what? Let's just fast forward a bit.
Like, get past all this bullshit. Like, we good.
This is number 8 is What's Cooking. This movie features 4 very different families celebrating Thanksgiving in Los Angeles. The families experience unusual tensions and issues.
Nope.
Damn,
You know, do they have
America's just traumatized.
Yeah.
a Medea's Thanksgiving, Happy Thanksgiving? That sounds like some shit that they would have. It has to be a Medea Thanksgiving movie. It has to be.
Number 10, and this will be the last one. For your consideration,
No.
penned for this typically quirky film about a group of actors in independent film who think they're running for an Oscar. The movie they're making is called Home for Purim and gets renamed Home for Thanksgiving, starring Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, and Parker Posey. Dude, listen here, studios. Y'all remaking shit all the time, cash it in. We got horror villains on Christmas and Valentine. Y'all need to get here and make some damn Thanksgiving movie. This list sucks. This is pathetic.
It's bad.
Y'all can't make some Thanksgiving movies? Come on. Our best Thanksgiving movies, Plane, Trains, and Automobiles? You're better than this. There's no National Lampoon Thanksgiving or something? Come on. A Thanksgiving story? A turkey story? We ain't got nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's Christmas or nothing. That's basically what it boils down to.
Where are all these people? They're trying to cash in on anything. Can't make a Thanksgiving movie? Vince Vaughn's not out here?
Terrible.
We can't get Vince Vaughn some blonde together on Thanksgiving? In like all his movies?
Do something.
Owen Wilson shows up?
Trash. Moving on. Cal the Pug. He says, who's on your Mount Rushmore of NFL players?
Ooh.
Bo Jackson. You know what? Dan Marino.
Good.
Let's
Dan
go.
Marino.
And we're talking about like our personal favorites, right? Not like
Yes, correct.
You already know it's always going to be my personal favorite.
Because you know, it's like it's
do whatever you want.
immediately. It's like, man, it's like it's hard not to talk about like Brady and Montana and Rice and all that.
Is it? It's easy for me to not talk about them fuckers.
Lawrence Taylor. Give one more. You know what? Barry Sanders.
Nice. Mine is going to be Jerry Rice, Steve Young, Barry Sanders, and Dion.
Great choices.
Jim Brown,
Legend.
Reggie White.
Also a
What do you
legend.
see, Reggie White? What do you see, Reggie White?
I feel like I want to pick a quarterback, but like I don't want to. So overseen. Yeah,
See,
yeah,
he's
like-
going through lists and stuff. Me and Delvin just off the dome.
Off the dome.
Yeah, because I don't want to forget somebody. Honestly, I was thinking like Joe Thomas.
Who?
I knew you were going to say that.
The funny thing is, you picked Jim Brown. You ain't never seen Jim Brown play.
I've watched Jim Brown play. Oh, I have. A lot.
Not live.
Not live.
It's just
No.
recordings. Get outta
I
here.
think a lot of what you've seen is recordings. It's not like you didn't go to all these games either, man.
No,
the fuck you out
watched
here?
Steve
What are you
Young.
talking about?
I watched Barry Sanders. They were playing
On
when I was
TV?
alive. I got to watch them live. You know
On
what I'm saying?
TV?
Yeah, live.
That's recorded. It's the same damn thing.
No,
You saw them the same
I'm talking
way.
about they were playing.
Oh, come
while I was
on. It's
watching.
okay.
It's
It's not.
I get what Dev said. He's saying
I get it too.
without
It's just
knowing the result
He's a
of the game.
He's a damn cult hero in Cleveland. It's hard not. He's the first thing that comes to mind. How great Jim Brown was.
He is a legend.
Okay. I don't know.
Damn straight I did, D-Life. Niners for life, homie.
Oh,
But it is
God.
what it is.
He said not Green Bay Favre, but I kind of want to say Favre. I also want to say Vic.
Vic was dope.
He was so fun to watch.
I will say
He
this.
was.
He was
Favre-
so fun, and it felt like you were watching something that had never been done before.
I agree.
Some of the shit he would do, you were like, "What?" He had some plays. You're like, "How is this possible?" You know, like it was wild.
If only his receivers could catch the damn ball.
That's true.
There's that.
Yeah. Hey, you leave Algie Crumple alone.
No, Algie Crumpler was the one who could catch the ball.
My man out
He
here
was the
fighting
only
for his
one that
life.
could catch.
His name's Algie,
was the-
Dev.
Only one that could catch.
His mama
Crumpler.
named him Algie.
Sure did.
All right,
Wow.
Reggie White. I'll say Mike Vick and Ed Reed.
Reed's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Rod Woodson.
That's a great pick.
Another
I
good
like
pick.
Rod Woodson.
Yeah, like dude to lay them thump.
Can't do that no more. Get
No,
fined.
it's all different era. You can't be doing shit no more.
You
Those
can't
dudes
hit
took
people
people's-
in football.
those
You
dudes
might as
took
well just be
people's
fucking
heads
flagged.
off. You know, they didn't take you off the field. They sent you home.
Yeah.
You about to get a ride. Be
It
stretched
legit
out of
might
here.
as well just be flag football at this
Joe
point.
Thomas
Swear
was
to
the
God.
left tackle for the Browns for like 16 years. And it was
Sorry.
they sucked the whole time. And the sad part is he might be he might be the most dominant left tackle in the history of football. He's a Hall of Famer. He's amazing actually.
Everybody's in the Hall of Fame in the NFL.
I doubt anybody's in the Hall of Fame with his win-loss record. His shit might be
Probably
like
not.
30 and 190.
Wow.
Oh yeah, like we drafted Joe Thomas in 2003, and he played for us until like Baker, like maybe 2020, 2019.
That's
And
a long time for a tackle.
he has the I think he has the NFL's Ironman record. He played every snap for like 14 years.
That's
Wow,
fucking
that's-
unheard of for a tackle, man. They
And you think about it in the AFC North,
and ankles all jacked
the
up.
people he's squaring off on, the caliber of defensive ends and tackles that are coming through his way. And then he was like, honestly, for like years, a stud. Didn't give up any
How
hurries,
did he not
pressures.
get the hell out of Cleveland?
Actually, when he was in his last couple years, Denver, when Manning was in Denver, Denver wanted to trade for him, and he neglected. He didn't want to go.
He just said, I'm doing my time. This is a prison sentence. I've got a few more years to go.
They offered us a first-round pick. I remember they offered a first-round pick. He had no trade, and he said no. He's like, I'm a Cleveland Brown. It means a lot to me. He's like, I'm going to stay here until I'm done.
That's decent.
Yeah.
That's a
And,
little, I like it.
and the sad part is that he was, for a long time, he was like our only good player, you know? So it sucks that like he was so good on a team, on a franchise that sucked so long, but that shouldn't take away from individually how great like he was.
Hope
really
they
good.
take care of him. Hope they took care of him.
Yeah.
man.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's not there anymore, but he's still the only good
He
player.
think he's still like he calls the games. He's on local radio and stuff. Like he's still in the community. He makes money
Yeah.
and stuff. He's still doing stuff.
Good.
Yeah, I like Mike Vick. That was a fun time, man. When they drafted him and he came in, he'd break like damn 10 tackles on a play and run across the field and then launch a howitzer like 70 yards down the field. You know, like he just let one go. You're like, whoa.
so ridiculous. His arm strength. And it didn't even like he was throwing hard. Like it was literally like he was just flicking his wrist.
Yeah, he
and
had
thing
that.
would just sail. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah,
He could do
He
it with
ju-
both arms too, which is even
he jumped
crazier.
off the screen, and he had sidearm.
Yeah.
Yep.
He had a little sidearm too. But his wiggle was strong, man. Like Barry. Like Barry Sanders from the quarterback position. He is that like you'd see him
That
like
was-
5 dudes around him, and somehow he'd come out the side of you. You're like, what just happened? How did nobody touch him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Insane.
there's so many plays where he would like and not run. You know, like he had plays where he would run, but he had so many plays where he's running sideline to sideline trying to throw. You know,
Yeah.
he may run 37 yards to throw the ball.
And then they wouldn't catch it. Bastards. Bastards. Just
He had one good receiver. Who was that one good receiver he had? for a while?
Crumpler. That was
No,
it.
no. He had like one good receiver before they got there. possession receiver. I can't remember his name. I remember they went to. Do you remember they went to Lambeau and just pasted the Packers?
I don't.
Yeah, that was like. Cause I'm surprised they didn't get one. To be honest with you, they were really good there for a minute.
Yeah,
they were.
Yeah.
Poor Vic. Oh well. Next question comes from Ed Varnell. He says, "Do you think the Video Game Awards voting process will be fair to a lot of games?
No.
To Nintendo?
It'll be fair to Nintendo.
I wonder what he means by that. I wonder if is he meaning like Wonder? Like maybe did Wonder come out so late that like it doesn't get consideration? The way that they split up the games and categories to make sure everybody gets something. It was like that.
I think that's what he means.
Does Wonder get best family game instead of being taken serious?
Does Nintendo get taken serious in a lot of the categories?
No, we've seen this show over and over again.
Not at all.
Best sports game, Mario Kart. Yeah. Hey, everybody else have fun.
Came out 37 years ago, but still the number one sports game this year.
Like 100% could see best family game Mario Wonder and it not be nominated for Game of the Year.
That is exactly what's going to happen.
Or it's nominated for Game of the Year, but it's not taken seriously because they're going to make sure it gets this other one.
They're going to give Mario Wonder best family game. They're going to give Tears of the Kingdom best RPG.
That's why I hate the not the awards, because the award show has been getting good with announcements. So I like that part of it. But the idea that this is like an awards that should be taken seriously, I've never liked that. You know that. You guys know that. I get soapbox every year. That shit has bothered me for so long.
Best action game, Spider-Man.
They should do stuff like that. I mean, just best game featuring a spider superhero. That's basically what it feels like, right?
That's what they're gonna do.
I feel like all the time it's like, man, just say best PlayStation game then. Like it's clear what you're trying to do. Like we see you, just do it, man. You don't have to. You're making the rules. You gotta act like it's on the up and up. We get
best RPG where you can sleep with a lot of characters. Baldur's Gate. Oh, how do we know this is gonna happen?
Wins. I think Baldur's Gate's gonna win Game of the Year.
I think so.
I feel like it's not even close.
I think Alan Wake is.
Really?
It's possible.
Overwhelming fucking sentiment for this stupid game. Yes.
Yeah, the reviews are really high, weren't they?
The reviews are incredibly high, and I have seen so many people talking about how
that's wild. I couldn't agree with that. Here I am, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Oof. I didn't know that. I knew it was positive, but I didn't know it was like that. I just feel like Baldur's Gate, and it might be me projecting it, because in my head, if I was picking a game of the year, I think I've always said that, like, I always think of like what was like the story, like what was the gaming story of the year. Yeah, that was the game of the year, and I think this year that game is Baldur's Gate. But I also think Baldur's Gate is the non-console affiliated, like indie, like darling kind of pick that, like, I think the writers like want to get behind. I think that might be
affiliated with PlayStation. It's got a PlayStation affiliation, because it's the only console that it's on. Like it's quote unquote a PlayStation exclusive right now, and you have a lot of people who are playing it there versus anywhere else.
I just think a lot of people are playing on PC though.
Yeah. I have not.
But it's not like it's not Activision. It's not EA. It's not the. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you anything about Baldur's Gate outside.
And to their credit,
to sleep with everyone.
I think they want to prop them up because they've done so much. They've done such a good job at such a. I won't call them a small. They're not a small studio. It's a big studio.
No, not at all.
But I think to a lot of people, they're a lesser known studio. So they get that kind of bump.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
I'll
have some surprises.
I don't think Spider-Man's going to get it as good as the game is. I think Alan Wake or Baldur's Gate will get it over that, and I think Wonder should get some consideration.
Yeah,
but who knows?
And you think they're going to give RPG to Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah.
Wouldn't they just give RPG to Baldur's Gate?
No.
Right.
I think they'll give Game of the Year to Baldur's Gate. I think they're going to want to give Tears of the Kingdom
Tears
something.
of the Kingdom fell off so fast, so hard that it definitely, if they're giving an RPG of the year, it's going to Baldur's Gate.
That seems hard to do. What about Diablo?
Diablo's not an RPG.
Yeah.
That's an action game. It's
It's an action RPG. That's like
It's
literally
action
the whole
RPG.
thing.
It's just action.
I
Nobody
think-
that.
I don't
mana and
think-
skills and armor and all kinds of shit, man.
I don't think enough people talk about Diablo 4.
Yeah, Diablo 4 also fell off.
Yeah, people like that
RPG
that
is
actually
Baldur's
came and
Gate.
went.
I mean, just because it came and went doesn't mean it couldn't win the award, though. Like
I
it
don't
did-
think it will.
Yeah, I don't think that was gonna.
It's Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate's about to fucking run away with it.
Yeah, I think Baldur's Gate is going to get a lot of awards. Yeah. I mean, ideally, that like for me, that makes it seem credible. Ideally, if you're a game of the year, then you should win other awards too. Like that qualifies why you're game of the year.
Yep.
You know. But you know, every year they do this, right? It seems like certain games are put in certain categories to make sure they kind of spread it out. And I get it. It doesn't even like that doesn't bother me. It's the appearance that they're not doing it. That's what bothers me. It bothers me that they just come on, man, just say what you're doing.
Yep. I'm here for the announcements. That's
Yeah,
not
that's
really
it.
here.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. Just tell us about the games you announced. And I hate that because I want the devs to get credit, but like the way they do it discredits what they're doing, right? That's why I like the developers awards. Those are the awards that we should be like propping and putting like on the box and stuff, like the DICE awards and stuff. Those are the ones. Those are the good ones.
Yeah.
But that's not a show we can watch, so you know. It's what it is. Oh well.
Give me the new world premieres and give me the weird performance they do every year.
Oh,
Here's this guy who no one cares about.
that speaks to Delvin's Sony heartstrings.
Like, hey,
We've got people hanging upside down playing cellos. Get down here.
it's always
Delvin's like, this is my shit.
it's always so awkward because the audience usually don't know who the fuck it is. And then I think one year wasn't it Killer Mike one year?
Was it?
I think it was Killer Mike or the Roots.
Now you're
one
jogging
year.
my memory. Who did we have last year? Did we have somebody came out and just started talking? And just started talking. Remember?
It was somebody. Yeah,
It was like an actor. He just kept talking and.
Oh, you're talking about was that the year when what his name came out from God of War? He gave like a 30-minute speech
and just kept talking and talking. And everybody was like, "What's going on?" That was hilarious.
That was great.
Was that the last year show?
I think it was.
I remember the one, and it may not have been.
There
the
you
Game
go.
Awards.
There's the answer. It was Scarface.
They had Scarface at the
fucking
awards?
Pacino.
Oh, I was thinking Scarface the rapper.
Let me see. I'm gonna look it up.
No. It was Pacino.
Yeah, he came
Was
out
it?
because he introduced the voice actor of the year or something like that. He
I remember
introduced
what-
Chris Judge, right?
It just
The
things
award for Chris Judge?
things are crazy. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah,
And things
I
seemed
was
off
like,
the rails.
Why is Pacino out here?
Yes.
He's never had a single tie to a video game in any way, shape.
I'm
or
looking at
form.
it now.
Yeah.
So weird.
That's not true. They had a whole Scarface game on Wii, man.
He had nothing to do with that.
That's true. He did it. It was a
It's an
stand.
Esquire. Why is Al Pacino at the 2022
Yeah.
Game Awards?
Made no sense.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so I'm down for the chaos. Yeah, Jeff seems really hard to like want to break into Hollywood and be taken serious by Pacinos and stuff of the world.
I mean, it's just so we can put Hideo Kojima on. That's all that is. It's their
Is that
master
it?
plan.
It's just like they're just
trying to infiltrate
recruiting.
Hollywood. Yeah.
Recruiting. Here are the 70 people that are be the next.
I
Death
was right.
Stranding.
Run the Jews. The Game Awards 2016. Killer Mike.
Wow.
That was 40,000 years ago. I can't remember that.
2016. What an innocent time.
I was like, this is dope. And everybody
Yeah,
was like,
we
who
were
the
so
fuck is Run
naive
the
back
Jews?
then. So irrelevant of the darkness of the world that was to come. Like we were so happy. You're like, do you like video games? I like video games too.
Yeah.
Yay, video games.
Yeah. What happened to us?
Should have got dark quick, guys.
Yeah.
Oh God. It hurts
Little
because
lighten it
it's
up.
truth.
Yes.
John 32 says, "What's the best Halloween costume you saw last night, and who's ready for Christmas?"
All the girls and everything they wore. That's the answer.
It's
Wow.
creepy.
The Velma ones.
Little creepy.
Nah.
Because all I saw was little kids, so I asked.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute.
What little what
Whoa.
what timeline are you on when you see little kids? Yo, no. I saw grown ass
What?
women.
I have children, Delvin. I went,
went
trick-or-treating
trick-or-treating.
with them.
I'm not going outside to trick or treat. Fuck that shit.
See, but you need to say that because what you said
Right.
was the person said, "What was your favorite costume you saw trick or treating?" And you said all
all-
girls in their costume.
All the women, grown ass women. I was
You
not
didn't say
outside trick or
women.
treat.
You need to be
said-
I was
like
not
at the
outside.
club.
On Twitter.
You need some
on-
qualifiers with
No,
your
no,
statement,
yes, no.
sir.
Why would I be trick or treating? My kids are old. Also, they don't even do that anymore down here.
We don't know
I
that.
can't, I can't tell you the
Nobody
last time
trick or
I seen people.
treats.
I can't tell you the last time I seen people trick or treating down here.
You know
Why?
what's funny is it definitely. I had a couple of friends like they were waiting with candy and nobody ever showed up trick or treating. I had several friends in several states that said they just got like no trick or treaters.
Yeah,
Really
Damn.
weird. Like why? What's going on?
because people are giving away
My
pictures
block
on
was
their
lit.
candy.
Yeah, I don't know. We had a bunch, but to be honest with you, the headspace that I've been in, I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention. And I was also like entertaining. I had my in-laws. I was trying to do dinner.
Yeah.
I was trying to make sure the lights were working. I was trying to make movies run. I wasn't as connected to Halloween as I normally am.
I haven't seen trick or treaters in years.
You know, one thing I did this year that's new is I bought this like inflatable coffin and I filled it up with ice and drinks. And we had drinks for people that are coming by, and that was a hit. I think I handed
Oh, that's
out
a good
like
idea.
I think I handed out like 30, 40 like sodas and maybe like the 30, 40 bottles of water.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
That's a great
we
idea.
had one of the houses in my neighborhood around the corner. They had Capri Suns and water for the kids, and they had beer and stuff for the
I was
adults.
gonna do beer, but because I'm like the only one on my street that does it, and our neighborhood is pretty hilly, a lot of people drive, and I just didn't think that was a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
If somebody wrecks, they'd be like, "Well, this kid gave it to me." I'm like, "Oh no, that's not a good idea.
Yeah,
Let's not do
right.
that." But it was cold
Yeah.
enough that my wife did tell me, she was like, "I probably should have done like hot chocolate because it was pretty cold. It's pretty chilly over here. I'm not sure how you guys are, but it's about maybe mid 40s yesterday, about 9 o'clock.
Donnie, I live in Miami.
Yeah, I know.
It's not. It's
Yeah,
never.
it gets
Like we're-
the 40s.
So here's the thing:
40s
we're
out
under a
here is
freeze
usually-
warning right now.
Oh wow!
Let me tell you. Let me check the weather. I'll give you the weatherman on the Moose Report in
is.
honor of Ryan Turford.
It is 85 degrees here.
Really?
Yeah,
Right now,
I'll tell you what it is right now.
it is
Early-
31 degrees here right now. We are under freezing at this very moment.
No,
Well, last night it got down to about 47 out here. It wasn't 47 at 9. That's usually
I'm showing Miami at
3,
70.
4 in the morning.
oh, it's getting cool then.
It's 63 right now out here, but it'll get dropped down to about 50, 49, like around 6, 7 a.m. and then shoot back up to 80
Oh, it's-
by 3.
74 right now. It's getting cold.
Getting cold.
It's getting cold. That's cold for us.
Yeah. So this is the time of year where I get to walk outside, go to work, and have frost on my windshield. And then by the time I get off work, it's 85 degrees. It's stupid.
D-Life's got snow. Oof.
Life lives here. Hell is he talking about?
He said
And
it snowed in northern
here
Indiana.
in northern Indiana last night. So he is here in northern Indiana.
D Life does not live in northern Indiana unless he's
But
visiting.
he said
somewhere.
here, as in that's where I am.
He did say here.
That'd be weird if he
Could be
wasn't there.
visiting.
He's not.
That'd be
there.
strange. That'd be
wasn't-
wild as hell. But it snowed here in Indiana yesterday. He said it from Miami. That'd be,
Yeah, D Life lives like 2 hours away from me.
does he?
Yes, unless he
You sure?
unless he moved recently.
Did he?
recently. Yeah, I don't think
I
he
feel
did.
like D-Life's about to be like, yeah, I did like 7 years ago, man.
Yeah, I don't believe him. Uh-huh.
There it is.
I moved recently. I'll be here for the next year or two.
Liar, I don't believe him.
He done took off and didn't even say goodbye to Delvin.
Well, fuck you, D Life. hope you freeze to death, fucker.
He's out there with his bulls living a cold life.
I wonder how they're doing.
I don't know, but the Lakers are pulling it out. They're up 117 to 114 with 17 seconds left.
They need to blow it up. Chicago's terrible.
Yeah.
And I honestly say that with respect. I would love for them to be terrible forever, but it's even sad. They just keep adding players that don't help, and it's like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah. Chicago lost. They lost 105 to 114 to Dallas.
No, there's no shame in that. I'm more or less wondering. It's so early in the season. I'm not too worried about winning. It's just how are they playing? How's everybody doing? You know, Chicago's got a bunch of dudes that like need to be on other teams. Like
best costume I saw last night was Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I have one of those costumes on my Scarecrow, Oogie Boogie kind of Scarecrow on the yard.
Nice. And sure, I'm ready for Christmas.
You know, what,
ready for it to just
Caruso,
not be
DeRozan, Drummond, Levine. This is not a Vucevic. This is not an NBA team.
It was when Lonzo was there and was making
yeah,
it
but not.
good.
But even still, not really. Like half of these guys have got to go. Even like if you were building around Lonzo, you need to trade half of this team.
You wouldn't build around Lonzo. You were building around Levine and
would you take
what's his face, and
how
DeMar.
many teams would you take the Bulls roster over than another team? That's really maybe the point I'm trying to make. Because I'm telling you, I will take the Magic roster over Chicago's every day of the week. I'll take Detroit's roster over Chicago's.
I'd definitely
every
take
day of the
Detroit.
week. Yeah, just 100%. Charlotte, maybe. I don't know who's all on the Hornets these days. No, because they've got Brandon Miller. I would take just Brandon Miller over the entire roster of the Bulls. They're like, you could have the Bulls, you could start with the Bulls or Brandon Miller. I'm like, nah, give me Brandon Miller in the space. I'll figure it out. Are you kidding me? Like, I'll take the one dude. They got LaMelo and they got Book Night. You know, like, yeah, no, easily. I take the Hornets. Get PJ Washington. Bridges. Forgot about him. Yeah, Bridges. It's just bad. And the Bulls are so good. And everybody knows them and they're iconic and all that. They should be better. I'm D-Lef. I mean no disrespect, actually. I say this out of respect for you and your franchise. You're better than this.
No,
you're so much better than this.
20.
Would you do the what about I'm looking at the Timberwolves. Right? You take Timberwolves.
No, I'm not taking Timberwolves ever.
I know you're not. But you would, right?
Yeah, I'll take Timberwolves.
Just out of talent alone, you'd take them and trade people.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, they got Ant.
It's tainted.
That's it.
It's tainted. It's tainted meat.
Here's another thing. How many single players would you take over the entire Bulls roster? You can start with the Bulls today or one player and build around one player. How many players would you take over the entire Bulls roster? I bet I could give you like 40.
A lot.
Like it's not a short list. It's a huge list. Would you start a team with just Steph Curry and free agents or the Bulls?
Steph Curry.
Easy. How about Ant? Edwards or the entire Bulls?
Edwards.
All right, let's like go down a bit. Let's go down a tier. Garland. Would you start a team with Darius Garland and free agents or the Bulls?
Nah, give me the Bulls because I like DeMar DeRozan.
He's so old.
I don't care. And look,
DeRozan needs to get traded to the Heat.
Business. Like
that's got Heat written all over him. He can get cut and come down to the Heat and have a brand new career and be DeMar DeRozan again.
We'll get him a couple years.
No, you won't. You'll get him just like you got fucking Dame.
Nah. We'll just wait it out.
Dame. Would you rather have Damian Lillard or just the Heat?
Absolutely. Without a question.
That's what I'm saying. I mean no disrespect. I mean this actually in the best way possible.
Huh?
Like what they're doing doesn't seem to make any sense. They're not. It doesn't look like they're building towards anything. They don't have like a nucleus they're building around. They don't have a young player they're building around. They don't have cap space. They don't like it's just kind of just stuff. They just have stuff. It's like filler.
I feel like that's a lot of teams in the NBA.
All filler, no killer. No, like Indiana has pieces. They're building something. Detroit.
At one point, Chicago was building something.
Okay. So I think maybe the difference is, and you are a fan, but like I watch Chicago multiple times a year.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they've been like this for like 5 years. Like this has just been Chicago for a while since they traded for Vucevic.
Yeah. At one point, they were building, and now it's just stuff. It happens. It's okay.
Okay, here's a good one. The Wizards or the Bulls?
I don't even know who's on the Wizards.
They got Jordan Poole.
So I don't like him.
Well, I didn't say what you. It's not about what you like. We're not picking who you like.
You're talking to the wrong person. I am not building teams. I am not GMing a goddamn thing ever in life.
Okay. They got Landry Shamet. Oh, they got Kuz.
And Kuz can't.
Oh, Kuz is good.
Kuz can't. If he's not catching the ball in transition, he can't do anything.
He had 25, 9, and 6 tonight.
All in transition, I'm sure. That man cannot take anybody off the dribble to save his life.
He shot 66 from free throw. He shot 16% from 3.
Exactly. I'm telling you, like, he's not.
Delvin, the Wizards or the Bulls? This is a good one. This is actually, I think this is the line. We found the team. Would you rather take the Wizards or the Bulls? The Bulls have DeRozan. They got Vucevic. They got Kobe White. Like, if that's your jam. The Wizards have Kuzma. They got Jordan Poole.
You're muted. You're muted, Delvin.
They've got Danilo Gallinari.
Still muted.
We can't hear anything you're saying.
I ain't saying
there
that.
it is. They've got Denny Avdia.
Who?
Right.
I'm looking at their roster. Oh. You know what?
Well, yeah, the Bulls have Zach LaVine. Good point. Daniel says they've got Zach LaVine.
You know what?
I think I might take the Bulls over the Wizards.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
That's
Bulls.
the line. Like, we found the line. I found one team. I'd rather have the Bulls roster than the Wizards.
Yeah.
Because they've got a lot of talk about stuff. They've got people I didn't even think were in the league anymore. Johnny Davis, I thought he bounced out years ago. DeLon Wright is still around?
Yeah.
He's still playing. Mike Muscala? Didn't he play with Jordan or something? What is going on, man? Mike Muscala? Didn't he he catch a ring with the Spurs?
Hell no.
Oh, God.
Moving on. We got 3 more questions. Delvin Jr. wants to know, why do you think everyone loves the Mario Wonder Flowers so much as opposed to similar characters? What?
He's talking about similar talking characters who are like constantly talking during games.
What?
Yeah, I need an example.
I don't know.
Like NPCs?
Yeah, like talking to NPCs, I'm assuming. Because, anytime you walk past Mario Wonder Flower, they're saying something. And
I got you.
Oh, I did not know that.
see, that's what I was playing to Dev.
confused.
Dev's like, the flowers talk? Yes, Dev, the flowers talk.
Yeah,
I didn't
Flowers
realize. I thought the flowers were just a power up. I'm like, I don't understand.
No,
this
so
at all.
there's the Wonder Seed that changes the whole game and does the acid trip. There are these flowers that are stationed around, and they just say little quirps.
Yes.
Oh.
And they're hilarious. They're funny. And sometimes they're helpful, but they're mostly funny. I wish they were rude. Nintendo's been striking that. Have you guys seen any of those videos? There's people that are making their own videos of the flowers, telling you to fuck off and stuff. And
I have not seen those.
It's hysterical. It's in 1,000 times better game. Like that's a game I want to play, man. It looks funny as hell.
I had no idea.
I mean, it's just Delvin Jr. They're just very different, right? Those are characters. They're not just they're literally filler or background.
Yeah.
Where in a Mario game, every asset on the screen just has a purpose. So they're more purposeful, I think. And that would be why I would,
Doesn't just feel like a static background. It's talking.
They're more they're less like characters than more like narration.
Yeah. And they're fun. They're just fun.
They are fun. There are times when you jump into the foreground or the background, like the flower would be there, I didn't know you could get over there. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or if they'll try to tip you off something's nearby, they'll be like, hey, do you hear that? But then sometimes you'll be walking by and they'll be like, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, you say, yeah, I am. You kind of feel great about it. Like, hey, thank you, flower.
Is there an option to mute them?
No.
Oh, you're one of those people. Stop.
Don't mute the
I was
flower.
just curious.
You were just the terrorizer of joy.
Yes.
I was just curious.
The
That's
Thanos
all.
of video games.
I wouldn't mute them. I was just curious.
Buzz Killington.
Yeah. Of all things, Nintendo. I'm never gonna play this game. So
It's a shame. It's one of the best.
it's
It is.
Mario.
It's really
Honestly,
I've played it.
and again, try not to oversell it. I think Mario Wonder's the best games in the entire damn platform on the best system. Like on the system, is already like there for me. Like it's up there. Like I adored this. The way people felt about Odyssey, I think is how I feel about Wonder. Like I adored this. I was like, this is
great.
this is the best.
It's really great.
I'll let my son come on here and tell you how much he loves it because
And it's gorgeous. It's beautiful for a game so late, you know, like, and it just feels like such a big step in the visuals department. It's very nice.
June Dubs says, "Fellas, what's hood?"
Whoa.
Seems like a common question, but not sure if y'all have answered this in the past. What video game would y'all like to see turned into a movie or series, vice versa, or a series turned into a video game? He also says, Dev, I'd expect you to like the Warriors considering they're the shortest team in the league, and Steph is better than
God
Luka.
damn.
Give me Chef Curry in the clutch.
Steph is not better than Luca. What? No, not even a little bit.
I mean, his rings say they are, but
Sure,
That's
his
what it
team and the part of the organization he was a part of was better. Absolutely, maybe a better shooter, maybe, but
He's a better
but
shooter.
that's not what this statement says. It
totally
says he's
different
better
players.
than him, and he's not.
totally
He's not
different
better
players.
than him.
I mean, I like the Warriors, but fuck them.
Oh, you're doing that.
I mean, they're cool and all, but it's not the Lakers. Like the Lakers is my team. The Warriors, they're
You
fine.
hate them. You don't do nothing but talk shit on them constantly.
Yeah, fuck them.
No, that's what you say to the Lakers.
Yeah, that's still my team. I'm gonna root for them, but I hate AD,
He's like,
and I'm
fuck
ready to
my
move on
team.
from LeBron. Yeah,
But also fuck that team too, though.
1,000%.
It
Warriors
doesn't
can
make
kick
no
rocks.
sense, man.
It makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. I'm an equal opportunity hater. Like that's just basically.
I haven't
what it
checked
boils
in.
down
I
to.
haven't checked in on Golden State. What are they doing so far?
Who knows?
They're winning.
They all get bit shin
They
splits.
beat Zion 130 to 102.
There you go.
They lost to Phoenix on opening night. They've won every game since. They beat the Kings tonight by a point. They beat Houston the other night, Sacramento. They beat the Kings before.
They got a chip on their shoulder. Like they're trying to get back. They're trying to say we are who we thought they were.
I also think this might be the end. They didn't re-sign Clay, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this might be it.
Figure out. Yeah, it's possible. I think you let that man just retire a damn Golden State Warrior. Just stop it.
Yeah, but the cap costs a lot of money.
Who cares?
Well, the people that are paying the bill.
People
People are spending that money.
Just let him retire. Just let him retire.
Yeah, but it might cost you $30 million to let him retire.
You'd be all right. He'll make that up in the
It's a lot.
bank somehow.
Well, you are.
Steph had 41. And
good.
Clay dropped 18. Paul had 10. 10 and 12.
It's good.
Yep.
Anyways,
I don't know,
the question was about movies into series and vice versa.
Oh, yeah. We
Video
got
game in the
sidetracked
movies.
with the Warriors. You shouldn't be talking about Luka like that.
You know what?
Why not? Fuck him. Hope he never wins anything.
I hope he sends the Lakers home now. I
That's
hope
fine.
I hope he teaches
That
you a
won't bother
lesson.
me at all. That won't
He
bother
goes
me in the least.
full blown Superman. He teaches you a lesson.
That'll be great. I hope he gets a 40-point triple double in the Lakers and sends us home. I could care less.
Might get a
It doesn't matter.
70-point triple double and send you guys home.
That's also possible.
He's that
But
guy.
It wouldn't bother me at all. He's not.
He's got to get out of Dallas though.
Yeah, he's not winning the ring. It is what it is. Video game turned into a movie or series or vice versa.
And I'm getting it. Scott Pilgrim comes out like next week, 2 weeks, something like that, 3 weeks, mid-November, I think.
A comic book turned into a video game turned into a series.
It's kind of cheating, but it works.
He's right. It's kind of cheating. You know,
Oh, is
it's
it?
already serialized.
Okay.
I'm gonna go different.
Destiny. I want Destiny to be turned into a goddamn series. Like I'd love a TV series of Destiny.
That's a good one. Max Payne.
They did that
Yeah, they did.
You
that.
got a Max Payne series?
movie.
That movie's terrible. That shit don't count. Movies
It counts.
They did it. They did
Yeah,
it.
it definitely
Counts.
counts. Didn't say
Alright.
good one.
Okay, I'll go the old tried and true method. Metal Gear.
Yeah, it's
Metal
good.
Gear.
Metal Gear.
That's really
It's
good.
not already a movie. It's a series, isn't it? Like,
I wonder if you
half
made
the
a
game
Metal
is
Gear
movie.
movie that's like true to the origin source.
No,
If
no,
that
what the
would
fuck's
make
going
any
on?
damn sense at a movie at all. Like
Absolutely not.
nobody would get it at all.
Especially when they started.
Could you
like
imagine?
At solid, then you have to go
Could you
back.
imagine? The reviewers, like Entertainment Weekly goes and like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. It doesn't make any sense.
The first one, he was young, and now he's like really old. What's going on? He has this techno suit, and it was like 30 minutes of just talking. Like, what's going on?
I think you'd have to reorganize some of it. Like some of that stuff you can do in games because people will read between the lines and figure it out and it'll spread and all that. You can't really do that in movies. You have to tell people what's happening.
Yes.
Like you can't be that loose. Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk would be a good one.
They did that. Edge Runners.
I meant like the core story. I guess that doesn't count either.
I think it
I
counts.
guess it does, yeah.
Diablo?
Well,
Diablo would be good.
yeah.
Do that. Imagine like a Diablo animated series like they're doing with Castlevania.
That'd be cool.
I like the new Castlevania series.
I haven't watched the new one yet.
It's good. I like the new characters.
It's a prequel, isn't it?
Like it kind of lulls, but it's good. No, it's like one was like a forward story.
Oh, it was a sequel? Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any of that stuff.
it's like set in those like the French Revolution, I think, time period.
Okay.
And there's a lot of different stuff. I like it because I think the last season, or maybe the one before it, they kept going like sex scenes and stuff like that, and I was like, can we get back to the Belmonts and stuff? Like that'd be cool. Like I get what you're trying to go for, but like it's not Cinemax, guys. Castlevania. Like we're
It's
good.
vampires, so therefore sex.
That feels like anytime you do vampires, it's like, but we got to make them horny.
They got to make them fuck. That's
Like,
the rule.
but you could just make
That's how
them
you bring the
badass
people.
though. Like we could just do that.
Nah.
But that won't bring the ladies, and that's what they
Are the ladies
they want
there?
the ladies. Yes.
For Castlevania?
Oh my God, yes.
My wife thinks
Ladies,
it's dumb. She's not
I don't know
interested at
what it
all.
is.
She's
Well,
not
it's
interested.
not. It's not that age group. It's a little bit younger. They're into all the anime, and they like the anime vampires.
I mean, I
fucking
get it. The dudes are jacked.
Hot
Yeah.
Dracula man. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're into that shit.
Yeah. They're all shirtless all the time and everything.
Yeah.
I get it. I could see it. It makes sense. Math checks out.
All right, so we got one last question. This comes from Coach Mo. He said, how much will my son weigh when he is born in March?
Over under.
35 pounds. Damn
This poor
baby
womb.
giant.
Big baby right there. It's going to be like 27 pounds. So to come out 6'4".
with a copy of Madden in his hand.
He's going to
Right?
step out. He's literally just going to the foot come through like a sneaker and put on the ground. Next.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Coach Mo's way of saying he's having another child.
Yay.
Congratulations, Mo.
Dude's look like he's coming through a wrestling ring and like step the legs.
Right. He's birthing a lineman. It's just insane.
Yes.
Congrats, coach.
Congrats. Well, that's going to do it for whatever the hell episode of the podcast this is. I don't know what episode it is. Was 111?
Triple Uno. Triple Uno.
Uno.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, check us out on Twitter. Check us out on YouTube. Come hang out on the Discord. Send all the fuzzy feelings our ways, all that good stuff, and just, come be a part of the community. We'd love to have you there. And for Delvin Kruger and Eat the Hype, I'm Detton to Dev, and this has been Play Some Video Games.
Peace.